of the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 6, episode 7. Alrighty. So this episode is full of a lot of drama. There's gonna be a lot going on instead during this episode. Okay, so the episode starts out where the ladies who are staying off at the smaller cottage, they are driving up to the house for breakfast. And so just when they get into the house, there's breakfast made. And so the ladies all sit down and start eating. Well, Giselle gets up and asks Robin to come with her. And so they go up to what looks like it's probably a balcony, and they're up there finishing their breakfast. And so Robin is having a talk with Giselle, in which I can appreciate. At least this talk, she did pull her to the side and kind of talk to her about, you know, her feelings or her thoughts upon what Robin had shared with them the previous night. And so, and Robin starts talking as she, kind of reveal. Well, she does reveal that the friend who had stolen all of that money from them had stolen so much money that they didn't have money to eat with, to pay their mortgage with. She was going to focus groups just to make some extra money to buy groceries for them. And so I mean that was really an eye opener to her. But then, of course, I end up having to side eye her as always. So then she also reveals to Giselle, who is trying to pump her up and telling her, you are great. You just need to believe in yourself. And then Robin is like, some companies have reached out to me for my ugly hats. I'm sorry, for my hats. And she says that it's Macy's and TJ Maxx has reached out to her. And then when Giselle asked her, well, what happened? She was like, oh, I didn't respond, or I didn't answer them, or something like that. And I'm just thinking, okay, so you're giving up some major contracts where you could really be making some money because you just didn't want to respond. And then, I mean, to be in any retail store is great, but I'm also thinking TJ Maxx, they sell imperfect items. We all know TJ Maxx, Ross, and Marshall, and Burlington Coat Factory do. I mean, you should, granted, yeah, they do sell items that are imperfect. So maybe if you have some things that are imperfect, you could sell it to them. And, that'll help out with your money worries. What did y'all think of these things?
I
What did
Well,
y'all
there you
think?
go.
Oh,
I can understand where she's coming from. She's scared of failing. It's not that she just let them go. She's just scared of putting herself out there and things failing. I think the fear of failing is what's keeping her from progressing in her business. That's what I took from it. I didn't take, anything else outside of that, outside of her fears. She's scared of being successful again, trusting the wrong people, money being stolen again, she's being broke again. I think it's just all overwhelming for her.
yeah, but I think she does definitely need to get over it because you need to provide money and some income for your family. You're building this house. You got to let go of your fears and just step out on faith, which she claims she has, um, and try to make that money back up. Because not only did the friends steal her money, but they also stole money Juan had been saving up too. So it's like, okay, you need to make that right. And maybe that's part of the reason why he gets so aggravated with you being in the bed. He's like, you could be up doing something to make some money. So I don't know. What did you
Um,
think, Rick?
I guess I don't know the entire situation with Juan and her and the friend and the money and stuff, but
Hmm.
just based off of watching it, the clips and all that, and everything that she said so far, I'm kind of I mean it's kind of I'm with you on the fact of, hey, this is still an opportunity to get your stuff out there. When these companies reached out, just go for it, whatever, step on that limb, step on your faith. But I can understand too that fear, and not necessarily just because she got done wrong, because I don't think TJ Maxx and them are gonna steal her money. So much as, is this gonna be a success? Maybe like where it's at right now, she's gotten comfortable because it's doing good, but it ain't, you know what I mean? But it's not out there completely where if people are like, I don't like that actually, I mean, she's gonna get more judgment maybe in these bigger stores versus just the online stuff. Or I don't know, but I can understand because even when I'm good at things, like I feel like sometimes I don't have the confidence to follow through with things that I probably could be great at, but out of fear or out of my own self, whatever, doubt or whatever, sometimes there's things that I probably could have done that I didn't do. So I can understand the human aspect of it. But I mean, I don't know what kind of money she lost and what kind of money she needs to make back up as far as wine is concerned. But I mean, if they offering, why not try? I mean, if you're doing well online, what's adding it to the store is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, because I guess when it comes to Giselle, she does have a tough enough skin to take the harshness, I guess, because sometimes I know me, I could get defensive, but because she can take it and Giselle knows this about her, I'm glad that Giselle was able to talk to her and kind of push her because maybe she does need to hear that because by
Yeah.
nobody saying it, she probably just keeps sleeping. Because I don't think Juan is the one doing it. Obviously, he said what he said, but it's not that push she needs. So maybe this will be it. Who knows?
Right.
And if not, she says she's willing to get help. So good on her.
Yeah. She still needs professional help.
Yeah.
A
But at
life
least you
coach
get the
or
ball rolling
somebody.
on that stuff. Maybe she'll
Yeah.
do it.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Um, so the next scene was the ladies were going down to the pool. Giselle was going to give them a water aerobics class. And so Mia and Karen, they sat it out. And so trouble arrives, Ashley. So Ashley arrives to the house and she walks in and she says she's not going to get into the pool because she's still healing from the baby. And she sits down and she proceeds to start talking to Karen. So Karen starts giving her the lowdown of what has happened. Now, I'm sorry. I do not understand for the life of me why these women keep saying things to Ashley that really shouldn't be repeated, and they keep saying things to her as if she's not going to repeat it, right? And so one thing that did bother me now, as much as I like the grand dame, everybody knows she's my favorite on the show. But when you do something wrong, I call out everybody. I'm not just gonna call out the ones I don't like as much. But I did not like when she told Ashley that Wendy cried because of what Giselle had said. I didn't
Yeah.
like that. Um, because we know all Ashley's going to turn around and do was run back and tell Giselle. And it was going to become this conversation that shouldn't have happened. I feel like if one of your friends is talk to you, or even a acquaintance, if they get emotional with you and they're vulnerable and they open up to you, you shouldn't repeat what happened. But I don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't know. What did y'all think of the whole water scene?
Um. Well, that part of it, it is funny that everything Ashley misses, like everybody fills her in on. That part is hilarious to me. But so like I mean, it's a just nobody's safe from the messiness because everything that happens they're gonna let Ashley know, and so she really don't have to go to anything. They'll just bring it to her apparently.
They
But
will.
as far as the crying thing, I agree. I think that should have been between the two of them, and that's it. Because when she hugged her and said, "I'm your friend," go ahead and let them tears out. To me, she let them out as a friend to a friend in a vulnerable
Right.
moment. Now you just let the whole group know that she was in there crying over what Giselle said, which for you said don't give Giselle the like don't give her that, don't give that to her. Don't let her know you was crying, be strong, but you just showed her weakness to the whole group because you know Ashley's gonna say something. It ain't like you told
Ashley
Mia who
is the whole
may
group.
not. It's already been shown every time something is said, it gets repeated. And I guess at that point Wendy should have
Yeah.
known those tears weren't personal either, like they would be talked about.
Yeah, so
I
I
don't think
wonder
no
how
moment is
watching the
personal.
episode now, you know,
No
I don't know
moment is
how
personal.
no,
Sorry.
not with those ladies. No. And it'll be interesting to see how Wendy feels once she sees that, because the one thing I always got to think back on is that, at the time that it's happening, they aren't able to necessarily see or hear what each other is
Mhm.
saying. What about you, Johnny?
No, I agree. Like that should have been a private moment kept private. All she had to do was say she was upset with what
Yep.
she said,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and left it at that. Because I think what she was trying to do was get Ashley on her side by trying to tell her everything that had happened and hoping that Ashley would feel more sympathy, or be more Team Wendy, I guess. I guess it's now divided into Team Wendy, Team Gizelle, to be on her side about the situation. And Ashley, of course, she's kind of neutral because she knows how both women are. And she felt like Karen was being over dramatic with what she was telling her. So,
And then that was something else. Ashley walked up in there like she hasn't been hanging out with these ladies for years. And she's like, oh, that doesn't sound like my friend Giselle. The hell you say? And then she's like, well, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, stop it. Knock it off. Now, even you've had your problems with yourself. So for you to sit up there and act like she is above saying and doing what Karen just said she did, that to me was just like, girl, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down and eat your food somewhere and be quiet. Don't add any other commentary. Absolutely. Okay, so they all go to lunch after the water levels. Oh, let me talk about Wendy in that swimsuit. What y'all think about Wendy? Wendy was killing it in the swimsuit, wasn't she? No?
She
Y'all don't
was.
know.
No, she was. She was.
Yeah,
She was
she
rocking that thing.
was. Yeah, and then I
Now,
caught a
that's
glimpse that she
the
had a
one
tattoo on
time.
her wrist.
The one time I think it was appropriate to dress the way she dressed this whole weekend. That was that
mhm.
one time. Because you were in the water, you're in the pool, whatever, two piece, one piece, full suit, pasties, whatever. You in the pool. Okay, no pasties, but you in the pool. So I do believe, or I do. This was the one time she had to show off that body, and she worked it. The rest of the
Yeah.
She
times,
did.
yeah. But that time, yeah.
She did. I do have to
My
give her that.
personal, I like
Absolutely.
the swimsuit, but I would have liked it in a different color. I don't like the nude look, period. I don't care if you're dark skin, light skin, pink skin. I don't like the nude look like that. So
Sometimes
I
look
think
good
if
on
she
her.
had popped it in a different color, I would have liked it more. But I like the swimsuit itself. I just didn't care for
I
the
mean, I
color.
I can definitely see where you're coming from. I just like with her skin tone and stuff, like, and then like it had the gold accent, so I just feel like I don't know, but I know it's
I like
everybody's
that on her
personal
skin
opinion. So
tone. I feel
Yeah,
like
you did.
I liked the swimsuit itself. It was really
no,
nice. But to me, I thought it would have popped better personally if it were a cream, just to make it pop even more. A
I don't know. I
creamish
like it with
color
that
or
gold
white
better.
color. Any other color besides the skin color. I just, like I said, I don't care for nude nude dressing.
They look good on her
That's what
skin
I
to me.
call it. 'Cause, they have jumpsuits that look like that, the plastic that looks like that.
Like I said,
I've
I
never
can
been
definitely
a
understand that
fan of
different strokes and different folks. Me and you have gone shopping before, and we pick up the exact same shirt, two different shades, and she loves it, and I don't like the shade, or vice versa. So I mean, it's personal
Yeah,
preference.
because
So
I think it look
yeah,
good on her color. I love it. I love it on her skin
yeah.
color.
I really
Like,
did like it, and I was like, girl, rock that suit. Yeah, so her body looked really nice and
no, I
everything.
didn't. I
And
didn't feel like the cockiness when she walked in, but outside of that, like, I mean, because I get why she was doing it, but it was extra. Like, yeah, this is what you get from the house. This is what you get, but nobody else came in like that, so it kind of loses the effect when you're the only one doing it. Because Karen could have easily came in and was like, exactly, this is what you get from the house with her fishnets. I don't know about the other girl, but Karen could have been just as bad with it when she walked
oh,
in, but
you're
she
you're
she kept it
breaking
classy.
up. Or
Oh,
you said,
No, I think it's you. You're paused.
Johnny, is she breaking up?
Nope, it's you. Your like screen was frozen. I could hear what Reese was saying. There you go.
Okay,
oh,
could y'all
yeah.
still hear each other and see each other? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I was
All right, so
saying
you didn't
that,
like her
like,
walking like with confidence.
well, it wasn't about it was cocky, and I'm not a big fan of cocky. Like, cause I get what the point of it was. The point
But you
was
like
because,
Giselle. Giselle is very cocky.
huh?
Giselle is very cocky, and you like
No,
her.
no,
I
I'm
said
saying like,
Giselle is very cocky, but you like her.
we ain't talking about Gizelle right now. I'm talking about how she walked in the room and was like, "Yeah,
I
look
think
at all
you were
this.
saying
What you
that
get
you
from the
didn't like
house."
the way she was being cocky. But you said it. You didn't like the way she was cocky. I'm like, Giselle was always cocky. You're like, oh,
No, Giselle's just
you just
mean.
don't
She
like
that's
Wendy.
not cocky to me. That's mean. Giselle is
Some of it
mean.
is
She's not
cockiness.
cocky. To
She's
me, it ain't cocky. It's mean because I don't get it as a, I think I'm all that. It. She just mean. She a mean girl. She mean. In my opinion, she's a mean girl.
she's a mean
But
girl.
because but I don't see it as cocky because I don't feel like she. First of all, she don't even dress the part of somebody cocky. Like she don't walk with just this high
She
confidence.
really
Maybe
don't.
once
She
I've seen
really
it.
don't.
No.
Once I've seen it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't remember what it was. It was something she had on, and she was feeling herself. But that was like one time since I've been watching, and I'm like, she don't really come off as confident, cocky. Like I think she knows she's pretty, but I don't think she feel like she's just God's gift to the world. Minus her talking about her body, which I was like, well, your body's all right, you know. But but
But my thought process is if she's doing water aerobics like that, you're not getting your body from that. That
no,
though,
that
I
was
don't
a
know. Not trying
terrible
to hate, but
play. Unless we
yeah.
missed
Yeah, the
some.
pool was too small for all the stuff they were trying to do or she was trying to have them do. But I don't know. Sometimes when you're sitting there trying to keep yourself afloat in water, it can be a workout.
Yeah, and it can, but it's just I don't know if they cut it and edited it to so
Yeah,
it can
not the
fit. And I'm
basic
like
stuff they were
that.
showing,
Well,
but
I
that
I
Maybe
have
they
one
need to
where
always
put
she
any
heard
was
that
fat.
having
swimming
them
can be a
swim
workout.
with the
I'm thinking
weights.
actual swimming, like actually moving your arms. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they did
So
that.
that one where she had them swimming with the weights where they were trying to kick across and you saw them trying to kick across the
Mhm.
pool with the weights, that I could see being a workout because that's tiring on your legs. So I can definitely see some of it, but all the hopping and the twirling and all that stuff, no, I don't see it
She
being.
frozen again?
Yeah, Shanitra, I'm sorry, Nini is.
You frozen. And
They
could you hear us? You can hear us?
Oh, sorry, can you hear Johnny? Can you hear us?
Yeah. I did the same thing,
Okay.
sorry. I got it read.
I
See,
know
I
that's
But
talk
the
to
one download
you
like
all the
in
time, so
line.
it's
yeah,
just
no, but
that.
what I was saying earlier though, it was actually I was trying to give your girl a nod by saying, you know what I'm saying, she could have walked in like she was bad because I seen her body on Instagram and she is bad. Like her
Yeah,
body is banging. She could have came
Yeah,
in too with
Karen.
that. She didn't. She kept it classy, and that's why I was saying like it's to me that shows that it got to you, and I'm like that was extra because it got to you, and it showed.
yeah.
Like don't come in like, but don't overdo it either. You know what I mean? So.
Uh-oh, we lost Johnny.
Oh no, she. I think she. Yeah, there she go.
Oh,
No, I have little one issues.
okay, I thought the StreamYard was acting up again. Okay, so they all decide to go to lunch. Robin, she stays behind at the house a little bit because she says she has some work and some emails to do. And so they go to what looks like it's probably a seafood restaurant. They sit out on the dock. That's what it looked like to me. I could be wrong. Y'all can correct me. And so they sit down and it actually immediately starts. I'm like, can the ladies at least get their drinks and appetizers before you start? Actually, like why? Like I'm starting to feel like Candace does about all the fighting at this point. And so, of course, she wants to know what happened. So she starts saying, "Hey, I heard, there's some things were going on, and what happened, and also, Wendy, I heard that you cried last night.
Yeah, she couldn't hold that for nothing.
She couldn't. She couldn't. She just couldn't, and it was just terrible. Yeah, and so Giselle says, "Hey, are we good, Wendy?" But I don't remember if she's brought up the crying thing, but I know she asked her, "Were they good?" And Wendy let her know that her saying that she didn't have substance last year, I mean, she doesn't have substance this year and she had substance last year, bothered her. So then they kind of started going back and forth. And then Mia, I've been a fan of Mia since she started, but she's starting to get on my nerves with some of the stuff. Her jumping up back and forth across this fence. She don't know which friend group she wants to be on. Um, and so Mia tries to interject, and Wendy is like, "Wait a minute, you know, you are a stripper. You were a stripper, and I never judged you for that." Which I was like, I mean, she was mean to me, and she was, and I'm not going to ignore that. When she first met me, she was mean, but she never did throw out there anything about Mia's past. And so then here we go with lies. Mia's like, "I wasn't a stripper, I was an entertainer." And then production, they so petty. They rolled the clip of her saying that she was a stripper and then she was the bartender. I was like, you can't sit there and just do stuff like that. You know how shady these production crews are. They gonna roll it back on you. They gonna roll it back on you real quick. And Wendy and Wendy and Giselle, they're still going back and forth. And Giselle had made a statement that I particularly didn't really care for. She was like, "Well, if you got hurt by what was said, that's on you. That's not on me." And I'm like, "Where do we do that at?" I wish I could insult somebody. Reese, how would you feel if I insulted you? I said something about you. It hurt your feelings. And I'm like, you know what? That's on you. That's not on me. And then she ended up apologizing, but it was one of those lack apologies. She was like, "Well, if I did something that hurt your feelings, my bad." It's like, no, clearly you did something that hurt her feelings. People don't just cry from you saying something light to them. She was crying because you hurt her feelings. Um, and so that's basically how the lunch went. When they got up, shows up. Robin shows up, and then they killed me. Somebody called her, said "Hot Girl Summer," and I'm like, "Hot Girl Summer? What does she have on that y'all remotely think it's Hot Girl Summer?"
Her shorts was like little booty
Was I
shorts.
the only one not feeling her outfit? I feeling like they kind of jumped the gun on that one. No, that was not a Hot Girl Summer looking outfit. Um, and so Robin chimes
Maybe.
in, of course, because she chimes in every time. Every time Giselle has something to say, Robin has something to say. And so, Robin saw she really wasn't going to get anywhere with Wendy. So she was like, well, maybe we just won't bring things to other people's attention. Nobody said anything and she just stopped talking. But Giselle also said something else um, that to me was kind of like I felt like she was trying to throw like the whole colorism thing in there because she was like, "Why are you so aggressive? Why are you so combative? Why is it that when anytime a black woman wants to speak her piece, she's being aggressive and she's being combative?" That's something I don't understand. We
Hey,
got our
Yolanda.
our first crew member. Hey, Yolanda. Yeah, so she did say that to her, and I was like, huh? And then she was like, "I'm not Don Lemon," and I'm like, I wonder if that's what's really bothering you. You are bothered by that smart woman. Wendy is smart, and she's dressing how she wants to. She's not following what society is trying to force upon us or police upon us. Maybe that's your real issue with Wendy. Because why did you even bring that up? Like we're not on CNN right now. I don't know. What did y'all think of the lunch scene?
I think that I think the way she brought that up was like, we're just having a conversation. We're not trying to sit here and debate and argue our points. We're just trying to talk and have a
But
conversation. And
but when
she was
she told
being,
her, I didn't feel like she was trying to have a conversation. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
no, it's okay. I just think like I don't know. We all see things differently. I am, I guess, Team Giselle because I understand being blunt. I understand not really being aware of people's feelings and just saying what you feel and just bleh. Although with me, I have a conscience in the sense that I like to make sure if I did come off that way, I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to say blah 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 blah. But then
Yeah.
too, in my line of work, sometimes being blunt and upfront just is how you're supposed to be. So I don't. I think where you guys, and I'm saying you guys is in general, see Gizelle being mean or nasty or whatever. I just see her as being upfront and just saying how she feels without filter. Um, so when she was talking, she wasn't trying to be aggressive and combative the way Wendy was, because Wendy was getting aggressive. She was starting to swing the hands and do all this blah 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 blah. And that's where she was like, why are you being that way when we're just talking? We're just having a conversation here.
Yeah. And I
I'm
think I
asking
saw it
you
from a
about
different.
what Ashley just said. You're sitting here starting to get all extra because you have Karen sitting over there, just sitting there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and you're welcome. And she felt like it was just messy all the way around. Like no one to me really listens. Like no one's really listening to the other person. And I think that's where the
That is
frustration
definitely
starts.
right. They weren't listening,
They
but
don't
at the
listen.
same token, what I felt or what I saw, like Giselle was the first one to started using her hands when she was like, she said, if your feelings got hurt by that, that has nothing to do with me. That's all on you. And that was mean, and that was her being aggressive first. And it's just like I believe Giselle, like you said, Giselle is just blunt, and she feels like she could just say whatever, and everybody's supposed to just take it and go, like you can't. You got to be able to realize when you're being mean, and be able to acknowledge that you've hurt somebody's feelings, or
She doesn't
even
have
read the
she
room. She's very
she
bad
doesn't
at reading the room. She can't read a room.
she doesn't have that. She's never had that ability. She's just used to saying what she wants to say. And I think, like I said, I can't remember piece by piece. I probably need to start watching this stuff like right before we start talking because I watched it this morning. But I was totally confused by how angry Wendy got when Gizelle was trying to say, "Hey, what's going on? Why did you take it that way?" I think when she said that part, she was just saying like, if I tell you I don't like purple on you and that breaks your heart, I didn't even realize you had on purple. I'm sorry.
But that's not what you said.
Say the
But that's not
color.
what she said. What she said was to a professor, a doctor, a woman who's worked very hard, is very proud of her 4 degrees, which got on my nerves last year. I could totally understand somebody basically saying, "Oh, now you dress. So I don't like the way that you dress. So what's going on? Tell me. I don't like la la la, and I don't feel like you have substance. Like I'm not nowhere near as smart as Wendy, but if somebody told me that I have no substance, that would hurt my feelings. It would bother me. And I'm not as accomplished as Wendy, nowhere near it. But
Yeah,
um,
neither am
but
I,
I
but
definitely
that comes with
or
listening.
or think about it,
And
like
that's
your son.
and as intelligent as
Like
she is,
you
she
think
should have
about
been
your
able to
son.
figure where that was coming from. Because she should have said, okay, I don't know what this all is. And if you really want to know where I'm coming from, then maybe we need to just have a talk. But instead, she was just getting more and more uh, angrier. I don't, I really don't get it. And then, of course, she was also being dismissive when she would sit there and look at her phone. She wasn't trying to listen to what was being said. And I think that too is also what causes the aggression as well, because everyone's like, okay, we're trying to talk, but you're on your phone. Or we're trying to talk and you're sitting here just doing this with your hair because you're not wanting to pay attention or listening. That doesn't show much substance.
I'm not going to say that doesn't show much substance, but it was kind of rude. But at the same token, it's like they came in with their guns ablazing, and it's like they just expect Wendy and everybody else that they attack to just sit there. And it's like Robin was yelling at that girl again. I don't understand for the life of me why nobody has knocked Robin in the mouth. Like you don't talk to me like I'm your dog. Like don't walk up to the table and then immediately you jump in a conversation and you're screaming.
But
Like
that's
that's
what
not okay. That's not cool.
I
That's not what grown women do. That's what children do. So I mean, I understand why she would have been defensive because her feelings are still hurt. It's not because now we're sitting here talking, I'm gonna let it go. No, your feelings are probably gonna still be hurt for a little bit. I know it's
Don't
happened to me
engage
when
the
my feelings
conversation.
got hurt.
Then just be like, you know what? I'm still reeling from last night, so let's just try and talk about something else. We'll talk about that when I feel like it.
All right. So Yolanda says Giselle saying Wendy lacks substance because of the way she dressed. Clothes do not define a person's intelligence or substance. If that's if that was true, if that's true, what does Giselle's clothes and house decor say about her? Okay, her clothes are tacky. Her house is tacky. Does that mean that Giselle is tacky?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
but
'Cause
on that comment, girl, you can't go to work wearing booty shorts and a tank top, and then
you
somebody
can't
be
go
like,
to
"Well,
work wearing a
this is
thong
your
above your
job,
jeans.
and this is how you're supposed to dress." Well, excuse me, I have 20 degrees, and I'm teaching this class, and I'm teaching you, and I can walk circles around you. Does that make me any less of a professor? It makes me unprofessional, and what it is in a setting like
But
that, nobody wants to see that. They're not
Right.
at the
And
club.
what
but
if
wait
her
a minute.
students are watching this? What
But
if her
wait a minute.
students are
She
watching
wasn't
how she
dressing.
dresses? How are you
But
not?
what if
You are
Giselle's
you.
daughters are watching this and they just saw? Well, what I was gonna say is she's not dressing like that at work. Like even if she did remotely do that at work, that still does not take away from any degree that she has. And I just felt like that was kind of unfair to try to say the way that she dressed equates to her education. No, it doesn't. It may
No,
make
they
people
didn't
look at
say
you a
that
certain type of way,
though.
but
She
it
didn't
doesn't
say
say
that.
anything
When
to
they
that.
said
But
when they
they
said
didn't say that.
substance,
They told her
they
she
made the
lacked substance.
comment. But when they said substance, they also made the comment that like now before she was like when she would talk, she had intellect about herself and this and that. Now she's like more, I guess the way she's dressing, she's coming out with the attitude of the way she's dressing. Like it before
True.
maybe she handled herself more professional or
Classy.
maybe classier, but now it's like combative and want to fight you now that she dresses like that. And it's
Right.
like and I'm
Well,
not and okay, so I'm not saying because she's on the girls trip and all that. Oh, you want to put that comment because I was starting talking about it. The comment, that comment. Okay, I want to talk about it. So she was saying that so
you
because
said what?
of
Hold
the
on.
way, yeah,
But she's not at work. She's on a girls' trip. She can have fun.
and that's true.
And
That's
I
true.
do agree that, yeah, she's on a trip. She's not
That's
at work. Now, if I saw her, I can understand their comments if they saw her at work dressing that way. But the kind of vibe they were giving off to me when they were coming at her about the way she was dressing, it reminded me very much of a Southern Baptist church. Where don't come into the church wearing something that the ladies are going to question because they're going to be in the corner whispering about you, whispering about your mama, your grandma, your whole family. That's what it kind of
I mean,
reminded me of. I'm like, okay, she's not at church, guys. She's not at work. She's on vacation. Now, granted, she was dressed a lot more scantily than the other ladies, but at the same token, she was on vacation.
no, and get that we get that you got three little kids. You are a wife. You are a professor. You are a professional woman who holds your degrees and all that stuff with high esteem, but if you all of a sudden start acting like you're in the middle of a midlife crisis, then yeah, people are gonna point it out. Like you used to dress classy, though you were still beautiful, because nobody say you can't get your body done and still dress nice.
Right.
And I mean, like I said, some of the outfits were cute. Some of them were too much. Some of them were too little. But and I said she was rocking it in a swimsuit. So I don't got no problem with her body looks like. She did what made her happy, and that is amazing. But if everybody is, I mean, and I ain't saying because everybody is complaining about it, don't do it. But I mean, you saw the outfit she had on that first night with the boobs was like hanging all the way over up into the you know what I'm saying? Like you're a married woman. That ain't appropriate in my opinion for a married woman to be out like that. If you're a man like that, cool. Do that mess when you with your
But
man
finish
though.
this. But if you're on a girls' trip with your man, I mean, what?
No,
Wait,
you wouldn't
let's
be
say
on a
you're married.
girls trip.
You're on a girls' trip. You're on a girls' trip, period, and you're married. Do you still feel like that's like inappropriate? Because I know, like when I went to Vegas for my birthday, well, you saw what I wore. I wore things that I wouldn't necessarily normally wear,
They weren't
and
that,
none of
but
y'all were
what you
calling
wore
me out.
wasn't like that though. Yeah, what you wore wasn't like what she has
But
on.
I
I'm
was
saying,
dressed differently than what I dress when I'm here,
I mean,
and
when I
nobody
go,
started asking me questions.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I dress differently when I'm at work versus when I'm at home myself. But I'm saying, um, it's just one thing where it's like you just throwing it in everybody's face, this new body, and it's like this is great. We love this new body, but if it's for your self-esteem, then let it be for your self-esteem. Like we don't need no self-esteem boost with your new boobs and all that stuff. Like it would get old. It would get old to me too. Like it's like okay, what you want a round of applause?
Right.
But this
Do
is,
we all need to
Right.
come
but
by
this is the
y'all
thing.
and sit
Even
in
if this
and
gets
hug it out
old
that
for
you
you,
got a new
you have.
body?
It's like even if it does get old for you, my response would be, okay, then don't hang around me. If you don't want to see or the way I'm dressing is annoying you so badly, it's hurting your feelings so badly, stay away from me.
It ain't nobody
Stay away.
hurting. It's just that don't
I
nobody
don't
want.
want to see it.
Well, you the only
I mean,
one
so
doing it too.
basically,
If
so
you
now,
don't, then
okay, so
stay away
now if
from me.
Wendy's not invited to anything anymore because they don't like seeing her boobs every 5 seconds, then of course it's going to be like, well, why am I
Our
not
feelings be
invited?
hurt then.
Yeah, so I can't dictate to you what you wear, but I don't want to see your tits every 5 seconds. So you really can't wear a shirt that
So
covers your,
handle you a kid gloves, but you wear your adult outfits. Oh,
like
you
I
can't have
mean,
it both ways.
it's a catch
You
22 either
can't
way
be
it
strong
goes.
and weak at the same time in the same setting.
Yeah, I can't of course we don't know the time frame either because like I said, that's the part that drives me crazy with these shows. Sometimes you can't tell if it's been a week, if it's been 2 months, if it's been 3 weeks, but damn, every time I see you I gotta see all of that. Why? Hell, we went to go get coffee and I see you freaking out on pasties and a thong above your shorts. Why do I have to see that when we went to go get coffee? Like how many times do I have to keep seeing your body that you're proud of, which I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm
I'm
telling you
being proud of it.
it's not you, it's not you.
Yeah.
Like it's not what you were before. Where's the change coming
But I
from?
think there's a different way of saying that without insulting her intelligence. There's a way that you can say that.
But see, but
Like,
they,
girl,
but
But even with the
calm.
arguments
I
they've
know this.
had, even with the arguments they've had, they have not been where Wendy was last year. Wendy has been very different this year, which we've already established, even in the way
We
she
have,
argues.
but
Because when she first used to argue, what she used to say was about her degrees and this, that, and the other. And she was very intellectual with her arguments. Now she's just petty and uneducated with her arguments. It is a difference in how she used to argue last year and how she argues this year. And if that's what big boobs do to you, then you're just fitting into the stereotype that people with silicone boobs and fake butts act stupid. Shouldn't you still act the same way you were acting before? Why all of a sudden does it change who you are and how you act and how you argue? It shouldn't. If it's only changing how I dress,
mhm.
okay. But it shouldn't change my whole stance when I come to you and talk to you about things or argue about things or how I'm sounding about things.
well, we have learned that production has been cutting out a lot of stuff. So, like her whole argument with the TikTok thing with Mia, we learned that really that stemmed from a fight she had just had with Gizelle. So, some of it, I mean, maybe this is the real her coming out. That's something I did think about too. Maybe last year that was the persona she wanted to try to have for TV, but then this year she's got her new body and stuff, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna fake the funk anymore. Maybe that's
So the
I
old
think.
her was fake. Mm.
Yeah, so that's
Maybe
when who she really was.
it could have been.
So then
You
that
know,
makes
so I don't
sense.
know. I'm just being a devil's advocate, trying to
Yeah.
think like maybe this is the real her. But I guess we shall see because you can only keep up a facade for so long. So we'll see which facade sticks around.
Well, I feel like it's breaking already because she's granted, I'm an emotional arguer too, but it's like if I'm gonna get up in your face and say all this stuff, like, or you know what I'm saying, like like they, I don't know how to say it. I guess like you coming at them like you a ghetto, like finna fight you in your face, blah blah blah. Like I'm this big bad fighting whatever.
But
Right.
this group of women, you have to be that way, or otherwise they just keep on meddling with you. So I understand why she came at her, and especially when you're talking about my family. Oh, that's it, game on. Okay, so we got a couple of comments from Yolanda. Yolanda says Ashley jumps in Giselle's defense, saying she don't think she meant it like that. I'm like, Ashley, you wasn't even there. No one asked for your 2 cents. Very true. Uh-oh. Who's Tony? Oh, okay.
She just turned her camera.
Okay. And then she also said each season Giselle really don't have a storyline. She really don't. So she has to create drama play up on something. She creates an issue. Normally, she creates an issue with somebody's relationship, whether she's talking about Robin's relationship, Ashley's relationship, Monique's relationship. Now it's Wendy's relationship. It's always somebody's relationship that she's attacking every year. She says, "Do you think Giselle and Rob are being colorist towards Wendy?" Absolutely, absolutely. They are being very colorist towards that girl, and saying that she sleeps in the servants' quarters, saying she lacks substance, calling her loose and ghetto. They are very colorist. I think they are. What did you think of any of those comments, Tracy?
Um, the servants' quarters, possibly, but there was two people of the same color in those, so I don't know if they just went for her because that's who the issues were with or all the conversations were about. Um, and then of course, oh girl, she's not gonna say nothing to Karen because that's who she got the real, for real beef with. And then the part about lacking substance and the loose, I still think those were just lack of proper wording as far as like I don't feel like they're saying she's not smart anymore, that her degrees don't mean nothing. They're just saying you're not acting like the intelligent person that you used to act like. And if maybe being intelligent 24/7 ain't really her thing, then
Right.
it just sucks to portray that because that's what people, you know, if I become your friend and you're the sweet person and all of a sudden now you just this jerk all the time, I'd be like, oh snap, I don't know if I really like you no more, because I met you feeling like this and this is who I've known since you've been around. So I feel like the lack of substance, the loose is the clothing. We discussed that. Like that could be considered whatever based on where you're from. But I assume based on what they were saying, they weren't calling her a hoe because she's married. They were saying she's loose because nobody's saying she's out there cheating or sleeping around. The lack
Right.
of substance, I really felt like they saying because her conversations aren't full of substance like they used to, but that could just be too me saying it. And in the ghetto, I think it's just being the whole combative and this and that. I mean, multiple people in there was acting ghetto, in my opinion. I, I'm not Wendy's color, and I've
Uh,
been ghetto plenty of times. So I
Robin,
feel like
right?
ghetto is a colorism term. That's a black term, and when
Right.
two black women are saying it to each other, to me, it's not as hurtful or offensive as it is when it comes from
White
a
person.
white person maybe saying it. However, um, if you act in ghetto, you act in ghetto. I know I've acted ghetto before, and it was warranted. Now, when I'm not acting ghetto, and you say it, then we got problems.
Right.
I don't know. I think I don't like the whole stereotype that if you dress sexy, you're not intelligent.
But it's not to say that you're not, if you
I
dress
think
sexy, you're not intelligent. It's just, I mean, but that's gonna come with anything, no matter the color, no matter what. If you dress like you belong on the street, people gonna assume, like, I mean, that's just the assumption that society puts on you. It doesn't have nothing to do with her being black, doesn't have nothing to do with her being a professor. It has to
Right.
do with what society puts on you. And like I said, I know that because I used to go out when I was younger, go to the club all the time, and based off of what I wore, people thought I slept around, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's just
I thought
the
they could grab
stigma that
you.
dressing like that puts on you.
Gosh, I even think about that when I used to how I used to dress versus, of course, now. But even how I used to dress, the thought process that men thought they could grab you and do stuff to
Mm-hmm.
you, and you're just sitting there like, I'm just wanting to wear a cute outfit. It did not
Mm-hmm.
promote for
Yeah.
you to touch me or do anything
Mm-hmm.
inappropriate. So
Yeah.
I mean, no, no one's saying that you can't be sexy, but at some point, I mean, is that really sexy or is that trashy? Like, is really showing your cleavage to the point where you're seeing nothing but nipples sexy? or trashy. I don't think sexiness shows everything. Doesn't show all your skin. I feel sexiness can be shown without being so revealing. And again, like I said before, it also shows age because I wouldn't dress the way I dressed in my 20s. I would not dress that way now because there are still ways to be sexy without showing and being so revealing. Now, of course, I do like showing my legs because I have some pretty legs. So I will always continue to wear my splits as high as I possibly can. But I don't, if I'm going to wear something like that, I'm not going to go out. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but there's just where places to wear it and places not to wear it. And being out with my girls, yeah, I know I can dress any kind of way I want, but it's also I'm out being out with girls, which also gives you the idea that you're out there being single, ready to mingle, and people can come and approach you any way they please or how they see fit because you're dressed in a certain way. And I don't know. Like I said, I really don't think that it has anything to do with being saying that she's unintelligent. I just think that when you're wearing stuff like that, how do you take
Open
somebody
doors.
something like that seriously?
I don't know. I don't look at her clothes as so bad since she is on a girls trip, and I'm thinking this is,
But
she
she
wants to
dressed
let her
like that
hair
not
down.
on just the girls trip.
Yeah, she has dressed a little bit differently, but they're talking about it on the girls trip. They're not talking about it while they were at home or at one of the other events. It's like, okay,
No,
while she's
they've
at a
been talking
girls
about
trip,
it since she came out, wasn't it?
Hmm.
they didn't talk to her about it. That's the thing. They're so two faced and shady. They ain't said nothing to that girl in her face before this trip. Nothing. They've been doing all their talking behind her back.
But
We
all of them
don't
are
know
doing
how
it.
long it's been. That's why I keep saying we don't know how long it's been. What if it's only been a week? Well, you
Yeah,
know
but
it's been at
still,
least
that was even
2 weeks.
on Monday. Let's say it's today is Friday. On Monday, when she went to the other thing, she was dressed crazy. The other thing, she was dressed crazy when she showed up for the pajama jam. But nobody said anything. So y'all just
Oh,
waited
they did
it
say
out
something. They
until the
didn't say nothing to her. I guess this was just a yeah.
it says they can't get mad when Wendy didn't like what they said. I took it in a negative way, and they wasn't talking to me. Very true. I took it in a negative way, and they weren't talking to me. I guess for me, a lot of times I try to think about how would I feel in certain situations. Like if that happened to me, how would I feel? How would I react to somebody saying or doing that to me? Um, And so I guess that's where that comes from. So I can tell y'all right now, if y'all see me dressing some kind of way and you got some kind of concern, don't
Don't say
wait
nothing to you.
and then discuss it with everybody around me and then come and try to bring it because it's not.
I'm
If you
gonna
can say
text
something
Reese.
to me, I would appreciate it more. But don't do it in front of a group of people. Don't do it. And
I'll
then
be
I'm gonna be
like,
like, oh, you can't tell me
Reese,
to my face. You got to send me a text. All right.
Reese, how do I approach her about showing off her body too much?
I'm like, I
And
don't
then
even
I'm gonna
know.
come on the line mysteriously. Oh,
I watched
see,
her
now y'all gonna
stomach
be
and I
in
saw
two
what
face.
went down. And
Right. We watched the
I'm gonna be
episode.
like, if she
We
wants
watched
to expose herself to the
let
world
her.
community's boobs, that's
But
why I
I'm
like to
sorry.
say, I'm like, I'm not gonna be
If
that
you start
friend.
showing off your body and
Hey,
start acting extra, I'll be like,
in my
all right,
mind,
I'm hanging
I'm
out
gonna
with you.
say, she in the middle of a midlife crisis, and I'm gonna leave it at that. In my mind, I'm just like, she done lost. She's in the middle of a midlife crisis.
But
And that's
I'm
what it
glad
looks
to
like
know
to
that
me
I
with
can come
the,
up to
with it.
y'all and be like, Tiny, I know you feeling good about your body, but look, I'm not feeling good about the way you're dressing right now. So can you exchange? Stop doing that. Yeah, I know.
Hey, hey.
So yeah. Okay. So even though they drop it at lunch, they're still kind of whispering and saying things. And so, in which that alone would have annoyed the mess out of me. And I probably would have confronted them right there at that table because you could tell Wendy was still acting weird. So you should hear it. And so, Ashley, I want to give her a new name. I don't want to call her Ashley anymore. I got to come up with a good, messy name for her. So Ashley and Giselle, they kind of get into a corner and they start talking. And so before this trip, Giselle said that she was going to talk to Wendy about the rumors with Eddie. And so they agree that Wendy is a bit, she's upset. And so it probably would not come off well coming from Giselle, which for me, I didn't feel like it was going to come off any better coming from Ashley. But Ashley says that she thinks it'll be better if it comes from her, especially since she has had rumors about her husband. Okay, so they go back to the house, and Candace has been the voice of reason the last few episodes. Candace had enough of it. She's like, yay, the whiskey's here. They are having a whiskey tasting. And so she's excited. She's like, yeah, the girls will get drunk and, things will be better. We'll have a good time. And so, even though I have to admit the whiskey tasting looked fun, I was like, maybe I could do that for my birthday next year.
Yeah, that does look
Have the whole
cool.
little truck come. Yeah, it looked like fun.
And I'm
And
loving some whiskey
so,
anyway, so
and
I
so
would
they go into
definitely
the
be a
house.
part of that.
Yes,
I saw
yes,
Robin's
especially
face.
with
I'm
a
like,
good
"Ooh."
whiskey
I
sour.
know. You dress half naked or not, I'll be there drinking the
And she
whiskey.
was putting on. I felt like she was putting on. Because if you were having that reaction every time, you would have stopped after one or two. But you was doing that
No,
just to put on.
no, not
No, but remember,
necessarily.
she was drinking before. They were already drinking at the lunch, and then you're coming here, and now you drinking straight whiskey.
Yeah, not necessarily. Like, I mean, some of that stuff is strong.
That stuff's strong. It can hit in a couple minutes, and she was taking them straight to the head.
She says, why is
Stirring the
Ashley
turd.
stirring the turd this season? Because she doesn't have a storyline outside of her babies. But you can only show the babies so much. You can tell Dean is not used to being around people because he always looked like he's ready to attack whoever walks into the house. And
Yeah,
then,
COVID.
yeah, and then she has no storyline, none, none at all, except for and then that was something else that disgusted me too. Them showing them cooking up her placenta. I'm like, thank God I don't have food in my
Yeah,
mouth right now. Like I didn't need to
that
see
was
all
nasty.
of that. I did not need to see it at all, at all.
Why
And
did
so
they put
I
that
mean,
in there? That was
it's
random.
on.
She's
Yeah,
already
it was
said what
really
they were
random.
gonna do. Why would they put that in there?
Oh, so Yolanda says, Reese, do you like to drink whiskey and moonshine?
No. First of all, I don't know if you're saying mixing that together. Disgusting. Second of
Well,
all,
no,
no,
I didn't think she was saying
because
together. I thought she's saying
the
one
way
or
they
the
was looking
other.
with that whiskey, like first of all, it looked like I mean I was gagging looking at it, watching them take them shots of it. I'm like, I don't know how they was doing that.
I know you didn't pose a question to me, Yolanda, but I'm going to answer. I know you're dying to hear my answers. I like whiskey. I like a good whiskey sour. And then moonshine. I I don't like traditional moonshine. I like the ones that have that flavored up that like you can get from like what is it, the Tennessee whiskey moonshine place or whatever. I like those. So it's like infused like blueberry or whatever different flavors in it. Did you want to respond, Johnny?
I like my whiskey sours. Those things I have
Yes.
grown to love those since I've hit my 40s. And it hits the
When I
spot,
turned
boy. It hits the
when I
spot.
turned 21, that was my first drink at the club. Was a whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour?
Nah, see, mine was I did the fruit drinks, the amaretto sour. Now I can do a tequila sunrise, extra tequila, and whiskey sour. Boy, I'd be good to go. I just need two.
Not me. I think, look, I burned myself out in my younger days with brown liquor and just brown liquor. Just every face that Robin made, I felt the same. I was like, ooh, memories. I'm like, ooh,
I used to
not
be a
my
I
first
vodka
like
drink
girl
was
back
I
in the
I
day.
Kirkenberg. Ooh, I know it ain't whiskey, but brown is brown, and they
so
all have a similar taste.
Mine is all
yeah.
tequila and whiskey. I might
So
start
Yolanda
drinking
says,
bourbon.
yeah.
Be
Now, see,
drinking.
now that's what.
Yolanda says she's a vodka girl.
I used
I
to
went through
be.
a
Now, see,
period
once
with
I came
vodka.
out of that brown
Yeah.
phase, that's what I was too.
I have a bad brown liquor story, and once I had it that one time, I had Paul Mason, and that put me in a
Well,
trance that I begged God to get me out of.
I drink typically I drink more brown liquor than white liquor. Now I'm almost at the point the only time I really drink white liquor is when I'm having like vodka tonic, or do a gin tonic. That's almost the only time that I
No
drink
gin,
gin.
no gin. Gin make you sad.
And But ever since that time with the brown liquor, I only started drinking it in my 40s because I stopped. The first time I had it, I was like, never again, God, please, please get me out of this. I will never drink again.
Look, I think everybody done had that prayer multiple times.
Oh,
Probably. I
girl,
know I
I didn't
did.
know. I was so scared. I was like, oh, they're going to find me here. I'm going to be dead.
Look, I think I had that with wine, like some real for real wine. I'd had it with brown, clear, you name it. I,
Man.
I mean,
I
since
was
we're
so
on this subject, um, you know how if you when maybe this has happened to you guys, I know it's happened to me, where you may drink too much liquor and then maybe the next morning or in the middle of the night you're like, oh my gosh, God, you just take this away. I promise I won't drink any more liquor, any more liquor. Well, when I got my second COVID shot, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was so sick. I was just like, God, if you take this away, I won't take no more vaccines. Just take this away. I brought my old prayer back.
look. Pfizer
Oh
said,
my
"Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that."
God. I'm
Oh,
like, Father,
Pfizer
you're
said,
gonna be all
"Don't
right
do me
tonight.
like that."
Okay. So yeah, so the ladies they were doing their whiskey tasting, and Ashley gets up and she walks over to Wendy and she's like, "I'm about to go. Will you go? I'll come outside and talk to me." And Wendy, you could tell Wendy did not want to go. Wendy was like, "What is it?" You know, kind of
No,
whatever.
she said,
But she
"Oh
went ahead and
Lord,
got
what do you want?"
same difference. So she
Rightfully so. No, you're
got
at. You're like, no. What do you want? No, and she was like, no, girl, what you want?
At that
And
point,
that to me,
I wouldn't have, to be honest, if
that
that were me,
and
I'd just be like, you know what, we'll talk another time.
yeah, and
Her attitude was already off.
but after everything, when she said, "What you want now?" You know what I'm saying? I'd have been like, "Don't worry about it." Yeah, I'm like, because
yeah.
why
But
stir the
Why?
pot? Why
Right.
yeah,
stir
but it's
the
like what
pot?
we said earlier, that these women have a problem with reading a room. You should have read the room and saw that that girl was still upset from lunch. She wasn't in the mood. She wasn't even hee and ha ha and stuff with you guys. Leave it alone. Today is not the day. I get it that you drove from Virginia, but you could have left that alone, Ashley. And so she goes outside with Ashley, and Ashley is like, "Well, me and Giselle, we were talking about a rumor. We don't believe that it's true." And Wendy, she instantly gets mad because you can tell Wendy knows where that came from. And she feels like that's not coming from a good place. Like she's trying to pretend like it is. And then, Ashley tried to also tell her, well, I've been in the blogs. And she's like, that's laughable coming from you. And I understand it. Like our situations are different. So don't
They're
try
not
to
there.
mix it.
Hopefully
Huh?
they. Hopefully they are.
Yeah, hopefully
Hopefully
they
they
are.
are, and
But
it
you
doesn't
know
come
what?
out that he
I
was cheating.
Yeah. But and that's something I did think about at first, but then last night I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute. This rumor has been out for a long time. And where's the woman? Where's the baby? But I don't know. They could have them secret somewhere.
They could
I
have
didn't think
paid. They
about
could
that
have made
too.
them sign a NDA.
Yeah, easily. You know, but
Like for
I don't
instance,
know.
look at
I can't speak on it. I don't
Wendy
truly
Williams'
know them.
husband. Like kept that girl under wraps until she decided she was done being under wraps.
Right. She might
Like
not want to
people
be
knew
in
she
a
cheating, but
situation.
My
nobody knew who
thing
she
is,
was.
but that's my thing. Wendy cannot convince me she thought her husband was faithful.
No, Wendy knew he wasn't. She said the day he has a baby is when she would leave him. She knew that man wasn't faithful, but he did exactly what she said she leave him for, and she did leave him. So I give her that. Although I don't give her much because she got what was coming to her because she is like the queen of bashing people when her junk like was just yeah. Like you can't make a living
Yeah,
off of that when you know what I'm saying, your glass house is just all tore up. But no, but what I'm saying was just that it could be true and it could be hidden because we know
and it
that that
could
stuff
be.
can
I
stay
mean, it
hidden
could be
until
true.
somebody wants it
Yeah,
out
Yeah.
but it could be
or
true.
somebody
But you
did.
also got to look at it from like her perspective. There, it's like if Wendy believes that the blogs is lying on her husband, for you to remotely try to then try to put our situations in the same thing. I can understand it because it's like, no, my husband didn't do that. And if she truly believes that, then I understand why she felt like it was laughable for Ashley to go to her. It's like my husband wasn't peaching on a cameraman's booty. My husband wasn't at some bar saying I got a boyfriend and a wife. It was, it's just, I just feel like what Michael Darby was doing, I hope no man ever does in my life or has done in my life. You know, you're embarrassing me to this point where I don't even know that you're bisexual, but everybody else is seeing you be bisexual, and you're saying I got a boyfriend and a wife. That so for me, and if I was Wendy, I'd be the same way. Like my man is not like your man, though. He's not.
But
Even
I
though Ashley did bring to her another woman, and it wasn't another man, but I
I
think some
see. I
stuff.
took that as when she compared the situations. It's more so like I'm understanding because I done been lied on. Whether it was all lies, part lies, or all true, regardless, I thought she was just being that. She could be more like coming from somebody whose name been dragged into all this stuff. Like, she's more understanding is what I got out of it. Like, I didn't see it as my husband
But
and your husband are just alike. I think it's more so we both have been in the
even to
type of
say, like,
connected
we've
stuff.
both been in the tabloids, but for two different things. That's like me being in the tabloid because I slept around with a bunch of men in Hollywood and I'm the new superhead, versus you were in the tabloid for what not to wear. Those are two different things. So you can't compare the two.
Yeah, I mean apples and oranges, but I guess she just felt like, hey, we both been in this media thing, and so I think her being naive. I mean, granted, she's messy, yes, but I think
She's
at
not,
that
yeah,
moment,
she's
because she made the comment that this might even bring us closer, I really do think she did not think that what she was saying was going to be taken that way.
Was wrong. Yeah, I don't think she thought it was going to be taken that way. But like you said,
But
they
she
don't know
knows
how to read
messages.
a room. She shouldn't
Mm.
have. If she had really read the situation, she shouldn't have came to her about it at that particular moment. I think anybody who came at her at
yeah,
that particular moment about her husband would have gotten what she got.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So Ashley pulled Wendy to the side, saying that she needs to talk about the fabricated story. If the story about Wendy's husband is fabricated and made up, why is the ladies keep trying to talk about it? That's what I'm confused by. If y'all truly believe that it's fabricated, why do you keep talking about
Because they trying to figure out why she's changed.
Why she's changed.
It ain't the truth behind the story, but it's like,
Is
is it
that why
because
you're
people are
different?
saying this about you?
it?
You trying to prove a point to people?
But I feel like you can figure out, you can talk to me about why I'm changing without bringing up this fabricated rumor, because now you're just spreading it. And it wasn't like it was said one time on the show. It was said at least 6 times. That's what
Yeah, but you can't.
I just
Not
don't
if you
understand.
keep telling
I
me
don't
I haven't
understand.
changed. Not if you keep telling me I haven't changed. There's nothing different about me. I'm not different. I'm not different. I just had surgery. I'm not different. I'm
So
not different.
now you need to
But you are
say,
different.
if I'm not coming forward, either one, I don't trust you to tell you why I'm coming forward. That would be my first thought. Um, and then two, by you repeating a fabricated story about my man is going to make me come forward to you. Like, what?
Yeah, but they don't know that she's.
If you
They
want to
don't know
figure
that
out what's
she's
wrong with
repeated
me,
it.
don't bring up my man. You know
But
what?
they don't.
She doesn't know it, but she's going to know. And then the fact of it is, if you feel like it is fabricated, stop repeating it. Because now you are creating a rumor every time you keep on repeating it. And then you're repeating it every time a camera crew is there to see it.
Well,
Well, let me pull you to the side. Let me pull you to the side. Let me pull you to the side. Now, granted, I don't know how many times she pulled him to the side without the cameras, but I know she pulled him to the side in front of the cameras way too many times. It was like you were trying to make sure the world heard what it was you had to say.
But the world already read that there's a potential that her husband cheated. So I don't understand the difference.
I
Whether
think the
I
difference
brought
is
it to
this
you
is
or you read it.
if I'm cool with you, you shouldn't be repeating something that you heard about me that you didn't even discuss with me.
Yeah, but we have already established that these ladies are not cool with each other outside of Robin and Gizelle. They're the only ones who are truly cool with each other. They're the only ones who treat each other the way friends would treat each other. And like you said before, the way that Robin was able to handle the way Gizelle was coming at her is because she knew it was coming from place, a good place. Like she knew it wasn't backstabby or whatever. So we already established that they're on a reality show. You know the dirt's going to get brought up. So just either face it or do like Gizelle does and don't acknowledge it at all.
So we have Wendy asked Mia why she attacking her and sided with Giselle when she was a stripper escort. No one judging her for that. You know what? I did not see Wendy or Karen or what's her name, Enchilada. I didn't see Enchilada judge Mia for being a stripper, but at first Giselle did because she was saying, "I want to talk to her so I can tell my daughters what not to do." How about you tell your daughters, teach your daughters how not to grow up to be messy bitches? How about that?
Now,
I don't
everybody
know.
did judge her and talk bad about her, like her surgeries and all that stuff. Like
They
everybody
did.
went in on
Oh,
her except Karen because that's her friend.
That's her
no,
friend.
she
But
said
everybody
she was
did.
talking about the stripper and the escort thing.
Yeah, but
Now
I'm
I
saying,
know
but to
Candace
say
did.
that part, like they, what she
They
said in
did
the,
judge her.
that,
They
yeah,
did judge her. She
yeah.
judged her in the confessional. So because it's in the confessional, that's not judgment.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is Wendy didn't judge her for being the stripper.
She did in her
Now that I
confessional.
did, I didn't remember that in the confessional. Now I remember her judging her about the vaginal rejuvenation. I do remember her doing that. I'll have to go back and watch the
But why
confessional, but I
judge
do
that?
remember that.
You just had surgery
That's
But
too.
still
but what she's
judging.
saying, but see, that's not what she was talking about. She didn't say, "Oh, I didn't judge you about your plastic surgery." Blah, blah, blah. She said, "I did not judge you about dressing, but basically you." I'm not saying verbatim what she said, but she was like, "But basically you judged me about the way I was dressing." And Mia did. She was like, "Well, you don't see Obama, Michelle Obama, and you don't see Oprah dressing like that." And really, what I wish Wendy had said to her was like, "Wait a minute. We all know how much Michelle Obama loves her poom poom shorts. She have them on every time they go to the beach. She has shorts on. And then Oprah is damn near 70 years old. Why would she have her boobs? So I don't know. But and then we said, oh, Mia said, not Mia, Yolanda. Look, I'm getting all their names on, man. So Mia's acting like a businesswoman when Mia knows she used to drop that evening dress so fast and drop it like it's hot in her panties. Now that's something else. Mia said, I guess basically in her defense, that yes, she was an entertainer, but she had to be an entertainer to feed her babies. I thought two of her kids were with her husband, and then the other one was by her first husband, or at least that's what I remember her saying. So now here we go, another lie because you only had one kid. So okay, you had to feed your one kid, but don't try to act like you just feeding some babies
Maybe
that are
she got a
hungry.
kid we don't know about.
Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna
Maybe.
say we don't know that she just has three. She might have one she gave up and couldn't handle.
I don't know. Like that was just something I was like, wait a minute, what is she talking about? She's talking like there's more kids,
But she
but
did say she met her husband at the
she
strip
had her
club.
husband there. Yeah,
So it's possibility that he let her strip for a while until he married her and she was had a baby. We don't
but then
know.
that, yeah, but my whole thing is you said you had to strip because you had babies to feed. So that's insinuating that you had more than one baby to feed. And we know you met your husband at that strip club. So when you met him, you had a couple of babies. That's what I'm
No, I'm
thinking.
saying like she could have had her baby with him while she was working there and
Oh,
he
while
let
she
her
was still
work.
working there.
Yeah. And he let her work. Why not? He probably was like, well, I don't know if I want to marry her yet. I don't know how long they've been married.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so like I said, Wendy gets up. She ends the conversation with Ashley. She gets up and she storms back in the house and she's like, who was doing it? Who was talking? And then we go with old Rob. What are you talking about, Wendy? What are you talking about?
She was drunk. I don't think she even paid attention that Wendy and what's her face went outside. I really don't think she was really aware of what was happening.
I hope if I commit a crime, I have you close by me. The police.
Oh gosh. I don't. Do you think that, Reese? Do you think she was
Well,
paying close enough attention to know that she went outside to talk to her about the husband?
Well, look, she
no.
wasn't
So
drunk enough to tell
she
her
was
screw
drunk,
me or
right?
whatever she did, that
No, no,
vulgar
no. So
thing
she
that she
was
did.
drunk. She was
Now see,
drunk.
that's ghetto.
However, she did lie because I heard when she said, unless it wasn't her that said no, but she said, did you say something? No. Did you say something? No. Did you say something? And Skella was like, absolutely not. And then it's like, did you say something? And it sounded like Robin said no, but
Oh, you
I
talking
could
about
be
Estee Lauder?
wrong. Yeah,
You say Estee Lauder say no? Oh, okay.
yeah. She was like, absolutely not. And then it turned. Then I swore I heard Robin say no, but I might be wrong. But I thought I heard Robin say no also. Because I heard it, I was like, did Robin just say no? I was like, oh, okay.
But I don't think she understood. To be honest, she was drunk, and I don't really think she understood what the question was because she just came in. She just came in and said, "Who's saying it?" And I don't really recall Robin going and talking to anybody else and saying it outside of Gizelle bringing it to Robin and Robin saying, "Yeah, I've heard them," but I don't remember Robin actually going around and talking to anybody about it. I think she was addressing who's going around talking about my husband, right? I mean, I could have missed that part, but I just don't really. I mean,
I
in
feel
a
like this.
technicality, Robin
If
didn't
I
go
walk
around
in the
talking.
room and I was like, who was talking about me? I expect that everybody who was talking about me to say I, not be like, oh, I did it one time, so I'm not gonna reveal that. You still did it. That's you
Yeah, I'd
playing
be
with
like talking
words.
about you about what? And maybe if she had made herself clear about what she was talking about, maybe Robin would have said, "Yeah, I did too." Because at the end, she did say something about him and said, "No one believes it." Like she
Yeah.
kept telling her, "We're just trying to understand why you're acting the way you're acting." And she said something about Juan, and Robin was like, "I wouldn't care." And then she did the effing gesture with her hands and got her legs all up in the air. I was like, dang, that whiskey must be good. I want some of that whiskey
She
margarita
was
or whatever that was, that whiskey Rita.
she was so raunchy.
She
Was
was.
so
She
raunchy.
was
Then at one point
totally.
she was like dancing with her leg up. I was like, girl,
She
you
was.
can't
No,
But
you
I
gotta
didn't realize
you can't say that that's nasty because to me, what she was doing, she was a little tipsy, but she was having fun with the girls.
she
And
was.
then say that Wendy walking around with her boobs hanging out is having
It's
fun with the
cool.
girls. But yeah, her doing an act that to me was just her being goofy or having a good time because everybody seemed to be laughing.
Yeah, her
Um,
dancing was fun. But that vulgar, that F it, where she was like, F it.
yeah, that was not having fun with the girls.
I
Because
was like, what
I was
the hell
looking
is
through
I
myself
mean,
like what that WTF? Like what are you doing? You need to
that?
go
She
lay
was
down
definitely,
somewhere. Go
I'm sure
eat something.
well,
Giselle
I
was
think
like,
it,
oh
You
my
well,
know.
God.
her
And
action
so
was based off of what Wendy said to her
It
too.
was based off of what Wendy said. But that part was, to me, extra.
so
It
she
was
was so
ghetto.
drunk she couldn't
It
understand
was
the question, but she was so drunk that she could read. I don't know, I'm confused by that. I do have to say I'm confused. Because if you're too drunk for one thing, but you're sober enough to be talking back and mouthing off and doing all that stuff, I don't think
You know
I
how
don't
you
know.
get, you don't really pay attention. You're not paying attention, and then you realize that something's going down, and then you start paying attention, and then, of course, your true colors come
Oh,
out,
let
and
me
you
pull
get all
this up.
extra and angry,
So recent
depending on the situation.
they pull this
mine
up.
You
out a
just
little
kind of be
bit.
like
Nobody
that
said
moment of,
nothing.
huh?
Now, if you was to pull them all the way down here,
I know.
I'm sure YouTube would shut them.
Yeah, go
I'm
on and
like,
show your
that's pretty much.
cleavage. Bring it
She,
on
I mean,
down. Bring it on down.
she's always
I
been a
know, I
cleavage
know.
girl. She's
I
always been a
probably got
cleavage girl.
the
Now,
next
if you used to wear turtlenecks and suddenly all your boobs is out, then it'd be like, what happened to the turtlenecks you've been wearing for the last 20 years? Now you just want to have them all the way out every day, every time. Oh shoot, the
I
boobs out
know,
again.
right?
Well,
I've
I'm
been a
so used to
I've
the
been a
turtleneck.
fan.
I will have one. I'm
I've
gonna have on something very high next time.
I've
Something
been
what?
very I have always been very fond of Nini's cleavage. I
Yeah,
wish
see,
mine
I've
was
always
like
been a
that.
cleavage person.
She had the
I'm not
best,
saying that is
like
your
the best
signature
cleavage ever.
move. Is your cleavage? That is your signature move. I'm like,
Yeah.
if nothing else is gonna be out,
Really?
that
It's
cleavage
gonna be
was.
the boobs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like that I wouldn't be like, because I'm used to it.
But,
yeah. So
but
now
it's
you
like
come
my
out with some
move.
chops and the whole backside out, then we like, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
hold
whoa,
up, hold up.
whoa. And then look, the boobs is covered. Then we like, hold on, you
Hold
going
up,
through
wait a
something
second.
else. Hold on. Like, is that her stuff hanging out in the
I
front?
know,
She
right?
never has her stuff hanging out in the front.
Nah,
Why is it out
I
there?
was like, oh my.
I said,
But
I said.
it's
Or
like
the
because I'm
extra
so
tight
heavy
starting to see
chested.
camel toes.
But
I'm
yeah,
like,
but my
no, no,
chest
no,
is
no,
so
no.
big, it makes everything low cut, and it looks like I'm trying to show them all the time. But it's just so
Well, yeah, I
big.
mean, because like, I keep catching myself. I lean forward, and I'm not even that heavy chested, but I mean, it keeps coming out because I do sometimes have amazing cleavage. Sometimes good push-ups to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Good push-ups to make you feel
So she
like you're
says, Wendy
working
went
out.
off on Giselle. I want Giselle to be put in her place of dying, LOL. Yeah, Wendy read her. She read that girl up and down that house.
It was just a
She read
lot,
her.
though.
And she put her on notice. She put her on notice. But you know what? I felt like, unfortunately, maybe if she needed to read, what's her name? Eggplant, she could have went lighter because Eggplant isn't known for behaving like this. But Wendy has watched Giselle misbehave and treat people any kind of way, and she knows sometimes with certain people, you have to go that extra mile. You have to get in their face. You have to put your finger in their face and let them know you're not playing with them because otherwise they're going to keep on. And I guarantee you, Giselle is going to back off of Wendy so much. She may
But
still do
you
her
see
little
who she
snide
didn't
stuff.
keep going at?
Oh,
Robin. I don't think
yeah, because Robin just
she
shut
will.
up. She shut her drunk tail up, which I
No,
was
she
glad
didn't.
for because
No, she
Robin,
didn't.
Robin did, Robin did stop talking. She didn't keep on
But
the
it
whole
wasn't
time.
like, oh
She
no,
shut
it
up.
wasn't
Actually, I'm gonna
To
tell you
me,
what made
Gizelle
it
was sitting
sad.
there looking more crazy than like Robin. To me, it was like she snapped
But let
on
me
her, and it was just
Well,
like
I'm gonna tell you
whatever.
the point. I'm gonna tell you the point that Robin got quiet when she saw that Wendy wasn't playing with her either. When Wendy
Oh
told
no,
her her breath stunk, when she told Robin her breath stunk, I
she
was laying in
said
my
your
bed watching
whiskey
TV.
smelling breath. Like I'd have been
Yeah,
like,
saying your breath stank.
what are you?
She said your
What is
breath
this?
stank.
Mistake the obvious. Like
Yeah.
So
I
does
drank
whiskey?
whiskey.
I,
My
I'm
breath smell like
sorry.
whiskey.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. Does whiskey now all of a sudden give off the smell of mouthwash? No, she was telling the girl her breath stank.
Yeah, because she just took like 5 shots.
Yeah, and then that's when Robin shut up. Once that was it, she didn't say a
I
word.
don't think that hurt her feelings. Because
I don't
if
think that
I'm
somebody
hurt
not
her
said,
saying it.
feelings.
I'm not saying it hurt her feelings, but she saw at that point that Wendy was ready. Ready.
oh no,
Wendy was
I didn't take that
always
as being
right.
ready
But she
either. To me,
did.
that
I
was
didn't
like
either.
TikTok. I got time. It was a whack comment to me.
Yeah.
No, but Wendy
I
was
didn't find,
doing
and
some
then
good reading.
I don't mind people putting Giselle in her
Mhm.
place, but what I didn't like is when she brought up the whole thing about you should want better for your daughters than to bring a man around who treats you like crap. At the end of the day, that's still their father. So
No,
I was
that
not
is
thrilled
true.
about
Like
that.
you are raising three. No, I actually could appreciate that because she is. You're raising three daughters. You've been on TV acting a fool. You've been bringing their dad around. You've been on TV talking about you've been sucking his steams. Like, no, I could appreciate that she said that because somebody needed to
Mm-mm.
say it to her. She's unfit,
No,
just as unfit as Robin is. She's just as unfit. Your daughter done failed the driving test how many times? And it's just the book part. Girl, if you don't get off your lazy A and go help your daughter. Like you look like an unfit mother. I was glad that she said it. I was like, somebody finally is saying it.
no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
too far.
That was too far.
But I'm sorry,
Whoa.
but it's true.
I
It's
can't go
true.
along with
Like
that.
you need to set a better example for your children. You are not setting a good example. You're on TV, like I said, talking about giving a preacher a BJ. You're on TV doing this. Was that good? Is
The
that a
person
good
who's wrong
example?
is the preacher who is sitting there letting somebody give him a BJ, and you lead the whole congregation. That's who's wrong. I'm sorry, like all the extra little people on the side. These are
I'm
people who
sorry. I'm
you
sorry.
could have
For my
covered
son's
up.
sake,
He's the one that's
I'm
wrong.
sorry. For my son's sake, for my son's sake, I would never be on TV talking about I sucked anything. For my son. For my son. But that's the type of mother I am. I'm not gonna do that. Because first and foremost, I want him to look at me as his mother and have respect for me. How can my own son have respect for me if I'm on TV talking about I'm sucking on things?
How can your kids have respect for you too if your boobies is like flipping all out the thing and then you sitting here you cussing out everybody every 2 seconds and all that stuff? To me, it's not. I mean, you one thing that one person looking bad for, they both, in my opinion, then they both look like bad people. Like they both are an embarrassment to their kids.
Mhm.
I don't know that any of them ain't embarrassments because all of them on there acting immature. All of them on there acting like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't got no common sense, and these are all grown women, what, late 30s and older,
But
and
my
it's like
my
they're
whole thing
acting
is
on
this whole
national
time
TV.
somebody called her on something. Now you sitting up here calling Wendy saying that she has no substance because she's wearing low cut items, but you can talk about sucking on stuff on TV, but that doesn't make you look any type of way. That's a double standard. It's a whole colorism thing.
No,
Because
I'm into
Wendy's saying it's
colorism so
okay to
much
say
as
That's
something.
so
No,
far of a
I'm
it
making
reach.
ain't. It's
colorism go
no,
the
it's
other
not. It's
way.
like anything can be said to Wendy, but can't nobody say anything to Giselle that could be remotely
That's not what
whatever.
I
But
But
that's
it's
said.
like
What
true.
I
saying that
said
Wendy's not
was,
pretty,
I'm
because
not
then
saying
that
that
to
no,
about
me
you.
is
that's not
not.
what I
I feel
said.
like that's a
I'm not
cop
I
because
don't
calling
mind
Wendy
you.
is
you
I'm not
reading,
pretty.
calling you.
I
But
don't
That's
I'm
mind
not
you
calling
pretty.
you
reading
a
Giselle.
colorist.
I don't mind you reading Giselle. I don't mind what you said
I'm
about
not
her
calling
husband.
you.
But what I don't like is when you sat there and you said you need to give your daughters a better example. At the end of the day, that is still their father. That is their father. And the person who
So
should be
it's
setting
still
the example of the man that they should be with is their father. She
Yeah.
didn't know what he was doing before she had 3 kids. And you're going to sit there and talk about their father like that to them. That's what I didn't like. You can put Gizelle in her place about everything else, but that has nothing to do with
okay.
colorism. That is
No,
so far of a
now that's
reach.
something else. That's something else that's where I kind of take offense to. I have a boy, but guess what? I carry myself in a way that's respectful, so he will know what type of woman that he should hopefully want to be with, or what a woman behaves like. I don't push all that on his father. That's not all his father's responsibility. I own some responsibility. And I'm going to carry that responsibility. So, like I said, I won't be on TV talking about sucking on anything, even if it's his own dad's. I'm not going to be on TV doing that. That's just not okay. Especially if you have a teenager, it's not okay. And I'm sorry, but for me, I care a lot about how my son is raised. So I am the biggest influence he is going to have in his life. I don't care what his dad does. Well, I do care to a certain extent because I don't want my son to be raised to be behave a certain way or think that certain behaviors are okay. So I am very mindful of how I behave around my son. I told you, it's my son don't always see me running around with a headscarf on, but that's me. But that's me. That's how I raise my son. I am the main raiser of him. I am the main example for him. And there are certain things I just won't do in front of him, and I won't do that he could come back and see. Now that I take offense to, because that's the type of mother I am. I'm very careful about. You know, my son, he was not able to watch a TV channel that was not Nickelodeon, Disney, or Cartoon Network until he was darn near a teenager. But that's the kind of parent I am.
But I still feel like in this exact conversation though, like that was a, you can talk about him doing her dirty, but to
Yeah.
say that he's a bad, you showing them a bad example of a man, like that's their
That's
dad.
their
So you saying
father.
that they dad, basically you
But
saying they
it's
dad
still,
ain't
but
nothing,
it's
even
still
if
a
the dad
bad.
ain't nothing. Yeah, but to me, she's not showing a good example of what a mom should be walking around dressing like at her age. And the way she's
Her
acting is not
daughter.
showing a good example of what a woman of
Sitting
high
there having your kids
intelligence,
eat
how
booty
she should
cake,
be reacting to somebody, especially somebody who claimed to be so strong and you know, like you above all of that, but you're not,
but you're not. No.
because you
And like
letting him
and
bring you down to the same exact level. And if you weren't somebody who was walking around of such high prestige and high, like, I'm so educated and I'm this and that, do you get like this when you are on CNN and all that? Because maybe then you know what I'm saying, if you're a great debater and you can do these things on TV, then why is it so, like, you know what I'm saying, I would feel like you the type of person that I wouldn't want to come at, because you're gonna put me in my place, but you're gonna do it in a way that I'm gonna feel low. And it ain't
feel
because
low.
that you threw low blows, it's because what you said, like, dang, that cut, and you
That
really
wasn't
wouldn't
that just
even, because I
saying
didn't
what
see
you want
people
to
do
say.
it, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I've
how
seen
about
people
we
get to the
agree
point where I was
that
like, dang, when I grow up, this is what I want to, and this is as an adult. I was like, dang, I want to be able to do that, because For example, somebody at my job, an old supervisor I had, somebody sent an email and I was like, this was the dumbest mess I ever seen. I was like, oh, let me respond back. And what I was gonna say was not gonna be professional, nor it's a good thing I wouldn't want to respond back because I'm like, that was stupid. Basically, is how I was saying it. But my old supervisor let her know what you said was stupid. I get what you were trying to say, and it could be a good idea if it wasn't this, but it was stupid. Not once did she call the woman stupid, not once did she say, but when you read it, it's like, dang, I would feel little, but yet I feel good about myself, but yet that was probably silly. You know what I'm saying? I'm
But I
like,
think that
dang,
was possible. Her intention was to make her feel little, or just
but
as
she
little as
didn't.
she
To me,
felt
she just
when
came off as
Giselle had
doing
attacked
the
her the
most
night
Totally.
thing.
before.
To me, it didn't come
Being
off
as
like that.
educated and as how she was last year and versus how she was now, that was just a low blow. And I know we've always talked about how kids need to stay out of it, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, that is still their father. At the end of the day, that was still her husband. He was her husband for so many years. And you also always, because it wasn't like he was a baby daddy. It's not like she kept bringing him in and out. She thought that they were going to make things work. Regardless of what the blogs say, that it was a fake relationship, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about all that. All I'm saying is she didn't bring some random strange man up in her house and had him play her for a fool. She brought her ex-husband, her kid's father, back into her life, thinking that they were doing something different. And I just don't feel like you should be faulting women for wanting what they want. Your heart wants what it wants. Now, granted, was that a good idea? Probably not. You probably should have done it under the wraps for a while to see how it was going to go or where it was going to go. But don't talk about my kid's father like that, because at the end of the day, that is still their dad. That is still their dad. It is who it is. He is who he is.
I
I'm
mean, that
sorry
that
he's
is
out
her
there
children's dad.
doing all
That's
that
who
stuff.
she chose. That's who she chose. She knew when she walked down the aisle with him, he actually had somebody else pregnant. So to believe that, oh, he had just turned over a completely new leaf, do I think that was a stretch? Oh yeah. I don't think for 1 minute she should have thought he was going to do anything different than what he did before. He went down the aisle, which you knew he was expecting another baby. But at the same token, there's a
For
channel,
you
it's a
to be
lady named Nosy
educated,
Hog.
that was a low blow. If you're educated, if you have substance, that's not what you say. There are plenty of things that she could have said to that woman to bring her down without bringing down her kids and her father and their father. There was other things she could have said. Plenty. All the
She could
But
stuff
have
that
just
she
but
said
not
as
if
far
help.
as her
but
being
if you want to think
hateful,
about it,
all that other stuff, use the big words, do what you got to do, but don't sit there and talk about those kids and their father. Period.
but see, but it
Done.
also wasn't fair because all the conversations that Giselle had about Wendy's husband, that's Wendy's husband. That's her children's father. So Giselle is the only one that can talk about baby daddies.
No,
Giselle said it first.
Giselle said it wasn't true. One, and then two, she was asking, is that why you act the way you act, because you think he's out there cheating? But she didn't sit there and bring her kids into it. She didn't sit there and say, "Oh, you picked
But
a
she
crappy father
ultimately
for
she
your
is.
kids. Oh, you should be
She's
careful
talking
about who you bring
about
around your kids." It's their
but
father.
she's talking about the father of Wendy's children. So she's still in essence talking about her kid's father.
Oh,
The
but did
same
she
one.
say, "Oh, you should be careful about who you bring around your kids"?
But
Did
that
she
was
say
true.
that
Where was
about
the
Wendy's
lie?
father?
But where
Huh?
was the lie? But where was the lie? That's like
So she
there's a
shouldn't
lady I
bring
watch
her
But
on
she couldn't
husband.
bring her
She
own
couldn't
her
bring their
lie.
dad
kid's father.
around.
Shouldn't
Nosy
go
Hug
around their
lie.
kids.
And so I'm not saying that they shouldn't go around their kids, but maybe she needs to stop opening her legs to them, and then she won't be looking crazy on national TV. Like that has you can't get mad at somebody saying something that is actually true. It's
Those
actually
are two
true.
totally different situations. No, does she have to allow him back in her life for her? No, but that is still their father. So now you're saying that she's not supposed to let their father be around him because of how he treated her? That's how we're
That's
doing
not
it
what she
now?
was saying. That's not
That
what
is
she
what
was
she was
saying. She
saying.
was
She told her
saying,
she should have been
no,
better
she was saying
about
he
bringing
needs
who
to be
she brings
careful.
around her kids. And that's not
Yeah.
the case.
And,
That is their
and it's like
father.
on a romantic level. I took it as she's saying on a romantic level. And even if that is your kid's father, if that man has been dogging you out and your children see it and they don't even like it, why would you as a mother bring that around your children? Do you think if my son didn't like a man, even if it's his father, I'm gonna bring him in the house? No, No, no. It's like at certain points we can't sit here and try to shoot the messenger for things that maybe we don't particularly care for, especially if the message is actually true. Like I said, nosy hoe. People tell her all the time that she hates black women, but she doesn't. But she says things that I know black women don't like to hear. And Nosy will say it. She's like, it's not that I don't like black women. You know who don't like you? Your baby daddy don't like you. He was the one who left you alone to raise those 5 babies by yourself. And women get mad at her for saying it. But she's saying the truth.
Who
Why are
is
you
that?
coming at her? It's a girl named Nosy Ho Live.
Oh,
I mean, she says things, and I get it. Like, but she's telling the truth. You may not like it, but it is the truth. Now, granted, I get it. That's the father she chose for her kids, but she can't get mad if people are like, "Well, why is she with him? Why is she doing all of this?" That part I don't understand.
now I'm not mad about that. Like I said, you can say what you want all day long about who he is, but you can't sit there and tell a woman she can't bring her own kids around their father. Like, that's what I don't understand. And at the end of the day,
That's what I
it is what
don't
it
think she
is.
was saying it like that. I don't
She
think she
was
was
saying
saying
it
it
like
like that. I
that.
think you're taking that wrong.
No, she was saying it
I don't
like
think
that.
so.
She told her she was
I don't.
stupid for bringing him back in her life with her kids. And that was their father. At the end of the day, if that's something
Oh,
I wanted to try, I've been out with all these different men, it's just not working out. I wouldn't have done it so publicly, but she has the right to make that choice. Her daughters were skeptical about that, but that is still her right to make the choice. But it's not wrong to want your family unit back together, period.
even when you know it's toxic as hell, you want your unit back together and mess your kids up.
Yeah,
How
but
do
how
you,
many
how
times
do
have
you
people
know?
stayed in toxic
We don't
relationships
know
knowing
what
it's
he was
toxic and then
saying.
decide
You
to
want to
still
make it
stay? I
seem like
mean,
But
he
to bring
knew
it
he was
back,
just going
I
to
get it.
treat
People
her
are in toxic
poorly.
relationships all the time. I've been in toxic relationships, but I mean, if somebody says something that's the truth, I
No,
don't even
I
know.
just,
I
like
have
I
my
said,
view
for
on it.
somebody who has substance, that's not what you say. Period.
That's not what
If you
somebody
have
with
well,
substance
substance,
would
you
do.
don't say stuff
But
like that.
but you got to look at it. Somebody with substance also would not go back to a man that has drugged them as bad as he has, and it isn't even like it happened privately. It happened publicly
well,
several
I pray to
times. So
God that
somebody with substance would not
her
do
husband
that.
ain't doing her like that
Yeah,
because
I pray to God he
he
didn't
on
make
like a
babies on her,
pedestal
just
up
like
here. She
Jamal
should
did
have him on a
Gizelle.
pedestal, but it's
You
just one
better
of
I
them
mean, and then
things
if
what
where,
you
he
put out
did,
there and what
and
you
I
say
feel
about
like,
people and their
yeah, and I
families
feel like
and their girls and their
yeah, you
kids.
do. You have to be careful with what you say about people. You have to be careful what you say about people's relationships and people's children. You do have to. But the minute you open your mouth and you say something about somebody else's family, you cannot get upset when they come back and they go off on you. So it's like this argument is like Giselle showed up with a shotgun. I mean, with a little slingshot, but Wendy came in there with a Uzi and was like, and she said it. She was like, "Oh, is this how we do things now?" Okay, and she marched in that house and she let go.
but
But I don't know why it's like people are allowed to say whatever they want to you, but then you can't rebut and say anything back. Or people say you're going too far. Why? Was that other person that said what they said to me not going too far?
I mean, if somebody had just slapped her as well as she slapped them, nobody could be mad at anybody because they always disrespectful to each other.
Right.
And I'm like, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like you said, just because you're mad at what I said, you still ain't gonna talk to me like that either. Just like you said, she has the right, and I'd have the right to slap her in the face too, because she the one walking around like she wanted from whoever. And I don't think she's as bad as she thinks she is. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying that Giselle is
I
as
ain't
bad
say
as she
Giselle
is
is
because
because Giselle
no,
ain't get up and say
I'm just
much.
saying. I'm just saying. Giselle got real quiet once Wendy started popping off. And then it's
And
always
to
she
me,
always
Wendy's been
make
doing the
herself
most. And when you do that much and you ain't did nothing,
But
Yeah.
let me tell you, I do the most because let me tell you, you do something to me, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And you better be prepared. You better be prepared because I'm coming and I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your grandma's feelings. I don't care about nobody's feelings. My whole intention is going to be to hurt you and make you feel worse than whatever it is that I'm feeling or whatever you said about me it make it 10 times worse. And I'm like, Wendy, like, don't mess with my man. If you come to me about my man, you better be coming with facts and you better be able to back up whatever you said. because otherwise you're gonna probably catch it. But that's just a me. Like I said, I tend to think about things of how I would want somebody to treat me or how I'm doing in life or whatever I'm doing. Um, and so my thing is, I will respect what you got going on with your kids or whatever. I won't speak up on your kids. I won't speak up on your baby daddy. I won't speak up on la la la. But if you say something about me or mine, oh, you made it open season. It's open season on that. But that's just,
I don't
I
know.
just don't believe in turning up cheeks. So if you want to talk about the father of my children, oh, I'm gonna talk about the father of your children too. Let's have a discussion about it. But can you handle me giving you the truth? That's the question. Can you really handle what is given back to you? All right. So Yolanda
I don't
says,
think Wendy be able to because she can't handle when it's given to her. Period.
but Wendy
I'm
didn't
sorry.
say
I'm not
that.
Team Wendy. I'm sorry. Like tonight, you're Team Wendy. I'm not Team Wendy. I
It's
really don't.
not even Team Wendy. I'm just trying to say what I feel like is what's right and what's wrong.
I
That's
mean,
all that I'm just
I
saying. And
get
how I would
that,
feel if I was in that situation.
but
I
from
can't
what I
say
see, like
that
Wendy
I
ain't
feel
been the
like
nicest person this season. She ain't been the nicest
she
person.
hasn't.
And
She
then
hasn't.
on top of that, like to be real with you, because I haven't watched the other episodes, she does not come up as somebody with substance. Like I don't get educated from her, period, from what I've seen. And that's why I said, like, I can understand if she's been this other person, because I don't see it. So if I came into the group right now, I wouldn't have never thought, unless somebody said it, that she was a professor and that she had all these degrees. I wouldn't have, that would have been the last thing I would have thought she was. The
Based upon
person
the
who I
way that
would
she's
think it would be,
dressing.
I would get that vibe from Karen, and I probably get that vibe from like Mia, because them are the two most professional acting and looking and speaking women. Everybody else, I'd be like, y'all just some regular Joe Schmoes, just like me.
Well, I guess the difference with me, I don't have to necessarily know you. If I'm somewhere and I see somebody being mistreated, I'll speak up for that person.
No, but what I'm
Say,
saying
okay,
is
that's
to
wrong.
say she's
If I
lacking
feel that way.
the substance
that
as
she's
a
not.
professional and as a professor, I'm saying like me coming in this season without watching anything else, I don't get that vibe from her that she's super smart. This is just from watching this season. It's because I've never watched the other ones where she actually had a different personality. Like the person I get right now is not the one that they're saying she was either. And I ain't even seen who she was, but I'm like, to me, it is hard because even when she had the conversation with her husband and she was like, oh, I have to do that. Oh, I have to do that. And that might just be not being business minded. Of course, I get it. You're not going to know everything, but she's come off real dingy. And then twice you had to be told the same thing and you still don't understand. Like you still acting like, huh? I got to do that? What? I had to trademark it. I ain't never took a business class in my life, and I knew that.
I
I
mean,
mean,
for
it's
me,
little
I
things
don't.
that to me from somebody
Yeah,
with
all I'm saying is I'm
like
not
she don't
looking
really come
to
off a
defend
super smart
somebody.
person. So
Yeah, I'm not trying to defend somebody because they have a degree or they don't have a degree.
no,
If
and
I
I'm
see
not even.
something that
I'm
I feel
saying
like, and
the
that's all that
substance
I'm saying.
piece.
If
She
I
don't
see,
have it right now. Is what
to
I'm saying.
me, I wouldn't say, and that's what I'm saying. Looking from the, just looking at the TV, I wouldn't say that she does not have substance because of the way she dresses. That's like saying somebody doesn't
By
have
the way, she
substance because
acting
of how
too,
they wear
though.
their hair.
No,
She
but I'm
was
saying,
attacked. She was attacked.
but no.
Now I've seen you get mad. You
Even,
get mad too. And would it be fair for somebody to say you're acting like you don't have education because you are responding to
oh
somebody
man,
who
I ain't
attacked
got
you?
5 degrees, and I don't try to fake like I'm the
But
smartest
but no
person in
no
the
no no.
world.
But just period. What if somebody wanted to say that you are dumb? Oh, Rissy is dumb. And then I saw her reacting to somebody doing something to her. So now she's ghetto. How fair is that?
Excuse me. I've had this happen before. I've been called an angry black woman in a room full of angry white men, and I said, so if I call y'all angry white men, does that make me wrong? But because I'm the only black person and I'm a female, I said,
Well,
because
I think you
because
should have
I'm
handled that
standing up for
situation
myself,
differently.
huh?
You see, I think you should have handled that situation differently.
I probably should have, but at the moment, because I was angry, I did not. And the only reason I should have handled it differently is because I was talking to my superiors. So really and truly, he could have said, I really could care less that what I just said was an EO complaint. I really could care less that it hurt your feelings. You just talked to me and you are being insubordinate because you are you know what I'm saying, an E5 military terms, like I was a less rank. So I could have gotten in trouble. That's the only reason that I said I should have handled it differently, because I'm not gonna have a angry white man call me an angry black woman when I'm not disrespecting you like that. But to me, that was a whole different situation. That I have been in situations where I was disrespected and I didn't handle it like that. When there's alcohol involved, oh yeah, I would handle it like that. And then if I'm of sober mind and I can avoid it, I've walked away from situations that it ate me alive to walk away from, but I did, because I know me personally, I am a softie. Like I'm not a hard thug. I just know that once I get mad, it's hard to turn it back off. But I'm not a thug by any means.
Oh no, I completely understand because, like I said, I will be nice to anybody, but you give me something, you gonna get it back.
But see, I don't
You know,
even feel
it's
like
not
that.
like that.
Like I
Like,
don't feel like I gotta come so bad at you that I gotta destroy your life and I'm gonna make you feel it worse than me. I don't even feel like that. I just
this
feel
is
like I want you to know what you did that hurt my feelings. And then if you still remain disrespectful, because even when I came to my old supervisor, I told him, I said, I didn't call you angry or white or a male. I'm like, I'm talking to you without raising my voice, but because you don't like how I'm being firm about what I'm saying, I'm an angry black woman. And I said, and that's all disrespectful and that's all wrong for you to even bring up my race or my gender. You can say I'm angry right now. Yes, I'm angry because what you saying I was wrong about, you were also wrong about. But you can't say because I'm black or because I'm a woman and you're a white man, y'all sitting in this room full of white men and ain't nobody saying nothing. Like y'all all think I'm an angry black woman, but when I hear them cuss, not once did I cuss, not once did I raise my voice, not once did I get like aggressive and was like ah. But yet they walk around yelling, cussing, and all that stuff, and nobody says they're angry white men. But I mean, that's society. And that's why I say you can be dark skinned, light skinned. Ain't nobody exempt from that.
Right.
hmm. I mean, it shouldn't. It actually, to me, and I think y'all have probably already picked that up. I it ain't even about the color, man or woman. You need to just treat people with respect. And I say that all the time. Don't talk to people how you don't want to be talked to. Or don't talk to somebody crazy and then expect that person to turn the other cheek and walk away. Because not everybody is going to do that. Not everybody has to. And I feel, and I will always side on the person who was disrespected or talked crazy to. And I don't care who you are, I will side with that person. I remember one time, I know this is far off topic. I was in a Chinese hair store, and this lady, she walked in right before me and my husband did. And her purse, it set off the alarm, right? And so she didn't even go that far into the store. She turned around and she walked back out, and it rang again. And so the owner of the store starts screaming and yelling at her, "You're stealing, come back in here." And she's like, "It rang when I came in." And I spoke up for her. I said, "It did. It rang when she came in." I walked in right behind her. And he just started belittling her and talking crazy to her. And then, of course, her response is, she gonna talk crazy right back to him. And so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna call the police on you." And so I told my husband, I said, "We're gonna wait for the police to come here." I said, "Because she's a black lady, and there's no telling what kind of image he's about to make for her." I said, "I want to stay here, and I'm gonna talk to the police too." And I did. I waited. I waited for a while. The police took their time to come because I wanted to make sure they understood why this black woman was going off the way that she was. And she wasn't just some angry black woman. She just wasn't some woman taking it too far. Oh, she should have kept her mouth shut. No, she's upset because she's being called a thief and being talked to crazy. "You better get back over here with your purse right now." Well, you don't talk to anybody like that. You talk to your dog that pooped on your carpet like that. Not a grown woman who came into your establishment to spend money. That's just where I come from with it, and that's what kind of bothered me about it. Um, and so, I mean, and Wendy, she really did go there. She said that both of them got to be quiet because they don't have relationships to stand on, and then Ashley goes into the kitchen to go pack up her milk, and Candace hightails it in there behind her, and she's like, "Why did you come here with that?" And she kicks her out, which I understood why she did it with the previews. I didn't quite understand why she was going off. But then once I saw the way everything unraveled, I was like, okay, I can kind of understand where Candace is coming from because it does look like Ashley showed up to bring mess and trouble. And then now she's running off, and Candace is left with that trouble and mess in her vacation home. What did y'all think about that?
I agree with Candace.
Yeah, she had the right.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit confused by some of the things that Ashley was saying to Candace because it almost seemed like she was trying to make it seem like Candace was the one that stirred up the mess. So I didn't really
No,
understand what was going on with that.
she. So what I got out of what Ashley was saying, because Candace said, "I why would you come here bringing some mess from a blog to this, to the girls trip or whatever?" And she was saying, like, you've never done that. She's like, because when they went back and showed the little clip of Candace and somebody else, I don't remember who was in the clip with her, Gizelle or somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, it was Giselle.
So
Yeah.
when they told her about what was going on with Michael, she that to me showed like, okay, you have been part of some messy stuff like that too. It just may not have been blown up to that level because first of all, what happened this weekend was something that was brewing from like today that you know what I'm saying, it was brewing, it was building up and festering. But she was saying like you've never done it or whatever, so don't sit here now like you ain't never brought drama. And she was saying you the queen of drama and messiness too, which is probably based off of the fact that she got her head smashed into a table. She obviously ain't innocent. Obviously, she runs her mouth to somebody because she got her head smashed into a table last season. And then, to be real, none of them really. I mean, I know it's TV and it's this and that, but I just feel like they all get so mad about the messiness. But this is the only thing that's gonna keep the show interesting. Because if y'all all just good, wholesome women having fun, like really, ain't nobody gonna keep watching it for a long time.
Right.
I mean, okay, so with that, I understand that they have to be messy, but sometimes this gets to the point where I'm like, if I wanted to see this, I just watch the Bad Girls Club. What makes them any different than the Bad Girls Club? Sometimes that's the way I feel because sometimes I just don't want to see it. Sometimes I feel like Candace, where it's like, okay, this is enough. Um, like how much are we just gonna just sit here just going over the same thing, screaming and yelling in each other's faces, and then crying victim once the dust settles? I think it might be different if I saw them work through their problems, but that's not what usually happens.
You know
It's
what
like
I'm
sitting on the
wondering?
phone. What's that?
I'm sorry. I'm wondering is it like this on the other ones? Because I don't remember it being like, I know there'd be drama and stuff, but are they edited the black ones to be like this? Because this is what black people are portrayed to be. Because how much of this was actually fun? Like we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Atlanta, they do a lot of fighting, but I also watch Orange County. They don't like they'll have a fight, but then they kind of get over it, like in the same scene, and it's just not this
I
petty.
bet you they more behind each other's back and more
They're
catty and
more
Now,
backstabbing.
scary.
yeah, now
So
Orange
when you
County,
got a
they
bunch of people
definitely.
who ain't scared to say what they want to say,
Yeah.
it makes for more drama too because you got a bunch of people bumping heads because everybody's still gonna say what they want to say, regardless if I say what I want to say and then I get quiet, or I say what I want to say. You say what you want to say, I say what I want to say, then I get quiet. Whatever the case may be, or if I go on for the whole rest of that last 10 minutes saying what I had to say, because that's where I was like, okay, I get it. But the way it was cut, I was like, either she's just super, like just extra, or they making her look worse than what the fight might have been. Because it even seemed like it was times where it got quiet and she still was making snappy comments. It's like, who's even talking to her now at this point? Like now you just yelling random, and it's like it still was almost like they wanted her to become ghetto, and they won because to me, out of everybody, she did get the most hype. And then I would say next runner up to ghetto was Robin
Yeah.
when it came to that last bit of arguing, because them were the two that was getting like extra, like to me, I don't know, I guess I put that together. Anytime you about to fight, that's when it started feeling like, oh,
Ghetto.
world star.
Yeah.
Them two, like she was world star by herself, and then when Robin jumped in, I'm like, oh snap, it actually might be a fight. Because
Yeah.
even to
Robin.
me, Candace and oh girl, like it wasn't even world star, it was just dang, okay, y'all going back and forward, but Candace had a point, it was made and she walked away.
She
Okay,
walked
I
off.
missed
Yeah.
a couple of comments from Yolanda. She says, "Show them boobs. Rob will give you a lesbian tap." I wouldn't call it a hot that to the was that to the hot girl comment or whatever? But no, I'm not showing Robin any of my boobs. She may think I'm trying to turn her on. I'm not. No. Oh, Rob, no. Rob can't have none of this. I am spoken for. So Wendy had Giselle looking like a Cabbage Patch doll. Yolanda is crazy. She says Wendy went off on Giselle. Candace went off on Mia and her big. Oh my God, was that necessary? When she had made the statement about
Big old
Mia's
feet.
big feet. Yeah,
That
and
was
then
random.
follow
I
Ashley
was like, what?
and barbecue her ass.
I know. I was like, she's a tall girl, so
Yeah, but I mean, it's so
But
random
you know
to
what?
see that in there. What was
He
that?
made that comment when she was talking to her sister about the sleepover. Do y'all remember that? When she was talking to her sister about the sleepover, and she was like, "Yeah, Karen has this friend. She's like a glamazon with big feet."
Oh, I don't
Y'all
remember the
remember when
feet
she
part,
said
but I guess
that?
that's where it's come from. Like she can't get past them big feet.
Are y'all
well,
frozen?
I mean, she's a
Hey.
tall person, so I mean, she should have big feet. She wouldn't look right if she had little feet.
Huh? What'd you say? You were frozen?
Oh, I said she's a tall person.
Yeah, she
She wouldn't
is. She's
look
a
right
tall
if she
person.
had little feet.
Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, that was weird. But yeah, Candace, she did follow Ashley in the kitchen. She got Ashley. Well, she tried to get Ashley straight. I don't think Ashley absorbed what she had done. Like I think
No.
Ashley thinks that she was really there, and what she did was something caring and loving. That's what I believe. I don't think she looked at it as she was bringing a bone.
No, she didn't. She just
But that's
thought
the
she
way
was
she
being
always
helpful.
has.
Again, I just think it was lack of people listening. And Wendy just wasn't absorbing what was being
Okay.
said.
She says Johnny and Reese is mad. Watch your back, Nene. They're gonna jump you.
Uh-uh. I take it the other way around. Like Nene was scaring us.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
I'm
too.
sorry.
I felt like I was getting
I'm not,
threatened.
but I,
I know.
I do get passionate when I talk about
I was like, are we talking
no,
about?
but
Are we
I do
talking
get
about
passionate when I talk about my son because like yeah, because I'm like that's my pride and joy. I have put my
yeah,
all into
yeah.
along with his father. I can't knock his father, but I put my all into him. So if I'm gonna say anything about it, like no, like if somebody say something about it, oh, we going to war, World War III. That's all. And I probably seem
If
like I
somebody says
was,
something about my nephew,
but
yeah,
that's how I am about him.
yeah, I would get that too about my nephew. But I mean, I still feel like she was wrong, regardless of whatever. Like the comment, like it's
The
a way to
comment
word
wasn't
that. Like
necessary.
you could have said your choice of who you chose to marry, or like he dragged you through the mud and you kept taking him back. Any of those things would have been fine. But to say that about the daughters, I ain't agree with that.
I didn't agree with that. Period.
Whether it's true, it still didn't need to be said because she never brought her kids. She just said this rumor online about your husband. So then talk about her baby daddy, ex-husband.
Yeah, but don't talk about her kids in the
Yeah,
sense
no
of
kids.
their father.
Yeah, the kids weren't even brought up. Period until she did that.
Yeah.
She says virtual hug. Oh, thanks,
Only to
Yolanda.
Nene because apparently she's a team Nene. Dag.
No, she is not
I
team
feel
Nene.
attacked, Yolanda.
I'll
I
give you
feel
a hug,
attacked.
Gracie.
I
She's
feel
Virtual
attacked.
hug, Gracie.
I feel attacked.
ever.
You
See,
called
this is
me.
you see, Yolanda. You saw how I said those housewives they bicker, and then when the dust settle, somebody is victim. We got victim one.
I said I'm an emotional person. Look, I never said. I said I might get mad or whatever, but I really do feel like you got those short people who they were always like overcompensating for stuff. I was that skinny girl who was
I
always
didn't.
like,
I
huh?
didn't
Come on, no, no, no.
I
I'm
take
saying
offense to that. I'm coming through that camera at you, Reese. Coming for you, girl.
no, no, no. I'm saying so I had that skinny girl syndrome for a long time, a long, long time. I might not be
And
as skinny as I used to be, but that me feeling like I had to be defensive all the time because people used to always say little comments and jug, and I would take it and I go home and cry. Then I was like, I'm done crying. I'm standing up for everything. Yeah, I took it too far, and then it got to the point where I just be like, I'm gonna take a L before I like let you say whatever. And then yeah, sometimes I take too far, and that's why sometimes I don't say nothing at all because I'm like, I don't know how I don't have that middle line. I don't have a because I'm either too nice or I'm too aggressive with something. So I don't have a fine line. So I know like just shut up sometimes because I don't like to hurt nobody's feelings. I do not. I do not. And even when I'm in the heat of the moment, if I think it's gonna hurt, I might say it, but then I have so many regrets afterwards, and it eats me alive. So that's why I don't even like to do it. Cause then I'm like, man, that person deserved it, but I ain't mean to say that. I feel bad. I said, you know what I'm
Well,
saying? So I'm too
I
emotional.
have a warning system. When I say you got one more time,
Well, if you
you
see a
got one more time.
that's my warning.
I
Once
just
it's
got a
I don't
warning
care no
system.
more.
Like if I were Wendy, I'd be like, okay, that's one time. Okay, that's two times. Now you got one more time. And then after
Well,
that,
she kind of
I
did.
can't
She
control
gave her
whatever
a
else I
warning.
say.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
she
kept
did
going
give her a warning.
afterwards.
She was
She
like,
did. She said time.
so go ask someone else. Yeah.
She said you don't notice, and then she said some more stuff. Then she
Then
said
she
some more
kept
stuff.
going and
Then
going
she
and
said more
going.
stuff.
She,
Then
like
it
I
was
said,
like,
she
then it's
wasn't
like the room was
absorbing what was
quiet.
living.
Nobody else was talking. Then she said more stuff. I'm like, are they editing this room? Because I'm like, this is
Yeah,
starting to get
she just
retarded.
kept going and going and
I was
going.
actually happy when they cut to the scene because I was getting tired of hearing Wendy yell by herself at that point. So I'm like, now it's like people just trying to find reasons to get in it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, not. I'm
And
like,
then the
okay,
way they edited the season for not the season, the episode for next week, they kept jumping forwards and backwards. So I was like, are you gonna finish the trip and then go back to the trip? Because they jumped to Karen getting her key, and then they went
Well,
back
she
to the
leaves.
house, and
Yeah,
then
because
they went
she
back to
leaves the house. Yeah,
oh,
she
she
leaves the house to
does.
go get the
Okay,
key.
because I was
Mhm.
like, dude, I'm so
Oh,
confused.
yeah. So that's going to be good too, because apparently, while they're in the car going for Karen to get what is it, key to the city or something, um, Mia reveals that supposedly Giselle called Wendy a weak bitch and said she shouldn't be a part of the group. But then they showed the clip where Giselle is like, "Who said that?" And I'm like, "Uh oh,
Well, and
that's
Mia
going to
says
be
you
ugly."
did. But I don't even know where that even came from. So I'm just like, it just seems so extra.
Why are you laughing,
I guess
Racy?
we'll see. I was laughing at the face she was making. Um, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Because it could end up being a lie, might not. Because
Oh,
apparently,
Jamel.
stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamel, thank you. And then I think I missed one more comment from Yolanda. She
Ah,
says,
look, how
LOL, you
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 got
got
one
one
more
more
talking
time.
time.
That's right.
You talking junk.
I go to everybody. I say they got one more time.
Do you like you miss one on that? It's another one. Yolanda
Yeah,
said.
usually my warning is I give you a chance to repeat what you said or clean it up. I'm like, what did you say? And then if you were
No.
dumb enough to repeat it, you got these words. My mouth is about to get real
I think
ridiculous.
because I
And
work
you
in
ever
the
said,
public
what did
sector,
you
I'm
say?
always like,
Like,
I'll give you a chance. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm gonna give you one more chance. And then after that, I'm done. I go to
but
everybody
see,
in my
I
superiors.
think it's
I
also
say, look, they
different.
got
Like
one more
the
time to come up in
environment,
here acting
yeah,
crazy.
it's like the environment. Yeah,
Hmm?
I think my difference is like my job is different, so I don't get into it with people at work or have to worry about necessarily that. Sometimes I may run across somebody acting a little crazy, and even then, I know I'm not gonna pop off because that's my livelihood. But I'll still even do it then. Like one time, a man was trying to say I was being racist to him, and I'm like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" To give him a chance, and then I guess he thought about what he was saying. I'm looking at a black woman saying that she's being prejudiced towards me, and he was like, "Oh, he starts stuttering." Okay, that's probably the closest I really came to actually going off on somebody at work.
Nope. I've
But like I
cussed
said,
out a
I'm a different
coworker.
person at work.
I've cussed out a coworker. I've done all kinds of stuff, but I try and give people warnings because I've had it up to here. And then, of course, with clients, I can't actually cuss at them, but I do make them feel small.
I don't know. I don't think mine come with warnings. I think mine just sometimes my warning is I come in and I'm quiet. Just leave me
No,
alone.
see,
Just
I
leave me
learned the
alone.
warning. I learned the warning thing as I got older because I realized popping off just doesn't, it's not always the best situation. And probably because of how I work and where I work, I was able to get away with it more than I probably would have if I were in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what's the other word? The corporate sector. But
Yeah.
then again, it's my personality, so I don't know that I would have still probably learned to just stop popping off and just try and give people the chance.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe they're having a bad day. Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
dealing with it now with one chick, and I'm like, I already told her boss. I said I can only tolerate so much bullshit. She's at her meter. You go over, she gonna pull out the beast.
She says, Dr. Reese, what did you think of the episode?
She's picking on me again. That's all. I feel like I'm being picked on because I never said I was a doctor. I said I ain't even got that education. I just said, hey, what I say ignorant things is probably because, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got 5 degrees. I got tired of going to school all the time. I wanted to be a doctor. I feel like you knew that and you're picking on me now. Who snitched? They told her I used to want to be a doctor. Johnny Nene, who did it? Somebody
It was Nene. I didn't know that.
Somebody told that, and now she's throwing it back at me. Thank you, Yolanda. Now I'm gonna go in my room tonight and I'm gonna cry. I ain't got nobody to come for me. I don't have a Karen.
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Potomac right now.
I know. Y'all think I can get on the show? Look,
Yeah.
I mean,
Reese got her confessional down pat.
I do. I just gotta figure out how to get that tear to fall.
You don't have to get it to fall. You just have to have it clean it. It don't have to fall.
No, actually no, because then that makeup will be looking crazy. No, I'm just have watery eyes and then hopefully it go away. I'm gonna be like that in mine. Extra. Oh,
there you go. Get it, you tell lying.
Hey, you call her Ashley. Yolanda just got a new name of Ashley. Yolanda, look, she wasn't even here, and she just slid in, and she didn't like stir the pot. That's Ashley.
Yeah, and then look, now she's gonna probably run off somewhere. That's how Ashley got out that house so fast.
She did.
She did.
Oh, so fast.
And when she pump out that milk, like, good grief, she's only there 10 minutes.
I'm wondering why she giving it to her baby. It was full of booze.
Yeah, because she had been drinking. Yeah,
she had been drinking beer and everything. I'm like, you're gonna be pumping and dumping, not pumping and serving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think she did all that before she had the beer, and that's why, like, when did she do that? Like, I thought she had a beer as soon as she walked in.
Like, as soon as she came in, she had a beer when she.
That's how we know they editing weird. That's what I'm saying.
You're right.
Because how long did it take to pump all that? That was a lot of milk. Like, she was like, you've been pumping for like the last couple hours.
Yeah, because she filled up a big bag with all that.
Yeah, no, she shouldn't. Yeah. I don't think she brought it with her. That'd be weird.
Well, I don't see why she would. That wouldn't make sense.
No, unless she pumped it on the way. Oh, maybe she pumped it on the way.
Maybe she pumped it on her way in. That could have been. And she had to store it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing that makes sense because that was crazy.
She said, pull out your tissue like Candace. Yeah, that's
Candace already got that. I'm doing this one.
I think Wendy has that one though, Reese. I mean, not Wendy. What's her name? Mia, the one that we can't see the tears running down.
Oh, she do that?
Doesn't she? I think she does. Somebody does it. I think it's her.
Oh, because I do that in real life. You don't really want to cry. I'd be like, because them tears be rolling around.
I just get the red cheeks.
No, mine ain't y'all. Look, I don't know about y'all, but I was so happy that El Dorado didn't try to jump in and just stir up some mess. You know, she
didn't know where to get in, boy. She probably was like, I'm staying out of this one.
Quiet. She couldn't go out.
She said, she pulled out that spoiled milk.
That was a lot of spoiled milk, man. A lot. Yeah. Them poor baby.
She shouldn't pump or put that baby on that boob for at least 2 weeks. She was drinking a lot because she was drinking the whiskey too.
She was drinking the whiskey. That's why I was saying, like.
Oh, I thought she didn't drink the whiskey. Okay.
No, she had a little. I don't think she did all 4, but I think she drank the drink they made.
Oh, the drink.
Like I'm holding up the drink, like you can see.
She drank the drink. Yeah, she did have a drink, but I don't think she took the shots
Okay.
because she was kind of looking like, ew. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
But
I
she
think
did like
that
just some
was
awkward
it.
stuff though. Like first of all, that and then pulling out all that milk, like you just ruining the party. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Because I
and then the
didn't
whole
say
the
bringing out
second
your baby
child.
breast milk is ruining the party, but everybody drinking. Nobody want to see you walking by with gallons of milk. Like,
No.
Or see you, and then she likes to pull out her boobs, so she's probably pumping right in front of them too.
look, and then
And then
you
Probably.
you trying to
made
sober
Karen
up,
sick.
and you open the refrigerator, it's full of breast milk. Like, nobody want to see that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the whole thing. And then she almost even made Karen sick talking about her placenta. Like I'm sick of
Yeah.
hearing about the placenta. I'm about the same way the torso and Ashley's placenta. I'd be fine if I never heard anything else about either one of the two. Either one of the
Did
two.
she talk about it to
You
them,
know,
or was that just a clip?
I think it was a clip, wasn't it? Like right before the lady or somebody came to her house.
Mm.
And then I can't remember if she talked about the placenta with the girls.
I
Right?
know she mentioned it
Yeah,
to somebody at her house.
Yeah, because she was supposed to make. I thought she was making
Karen. It
pills.
was Karen.
So Karen knew
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
But if yeah, so Karen knew because she had told Karen in her house. But what was throwing me, it looked like they were cooking it almost like they were making her a meal with it.
Yeah, like they cut
Did
it
y'all
up
see
into like
that?
little placenta steaks. Like it looked
I
burnt
missed
right at
that
the
part.
beginning. It
I
looked
missed
burnt before they
that.
even cooked it.
I totally missed
It
that.
looked burnt before they
Okay.
even cooked it.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That's got the stank. Look, okay.
I can only imagine how that kitchen was smelling. And
I
then
can't
do you
do it.
keep those pots and pans or do you throw those away? Because I'm guilty. I
Ugh.
probably
I'd
would
be
have
mad you cooking everybody
thrown
else
it
with
out.
simple their placenta. Ugh.
Uh-oh. Yolanda starting on you again, Reese, about the placenta. Yolanda says Reese placenta good for you, love.
I ain't got no kids, so I ain't got no placenta. So if I'm eating placenta, something wrong. Ugh.
That's so gross.
No. Yeah. No, thank you.
All I can do is laugh about it. Yeah,
I
that
will
was
not
real
be
nasty.
eating
But
placenta steaks.
yeah, if
Like
there
they
was
want to make
ever a chance I
burgers
might
and
would have done it, that episode showed me why I would never do it. Yeah,
I feel like you got to do
yeah.
all that to put it in a pill. Like what is really happening here?
I thought that's what she said. She was making it pills, but I might be watching some. Maybe it was somebody else who was talking
But
about
no,
making a
She
pill.
she
said
didn't
pills.
say
She said it
making it a
today.
pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how like they do all that to make a pill. That's disgusting. Ugh.
I would think
So
you
that's
would
why
just
I was wondering,
dry
did
it
they
out and
also make her?
grind it up into pill
Yeah.
form.
So that's
Yeah,
why I was
try
also
it.
wondering,
Cook
were
it.
they like cutting it up and putting some to the side so she could eat it like a steak or something? What was going on there?
It
Because
looked like it was gonna be like
I
a
figured they would just
rib.
dry it out and
Make a
then
rib.
It kind of puts you on
I
a
figured
plate
they
a
would just
taste of
dry out the
liver.
placenta and then put it in a pill.
It probably
Make,
is like a liver.
let's make
Yeah,
her some ribs.
but
They
you know
probably
it
need to put
came
some
out her
gravy with it.
crotch.
Placenta and gravy.
What? Put some onions and some gravy. Ooh,
You know what?
Saying
You know what?
gravy.
I take that back because it's
yeah.
placenta. That kind of sounds exotic, so it would need a wine sauce.
Placenta and onions.
Oh, like a good burgundy sauce? A good burgundy
Yeah,
sauce,
like
huh?
a red wine sauce.
Mm.
That was it of the episode. Do y'all remember anything that we may have forgotten? Hey,
He
Aiden.
wanted to make he wanted to make an entrance.
He did.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. Is there anything else that we may have forgotten
Nah, I don't think so.
to recap?
I think we
Mhm.
covered everything.
And then some,
What,
look, we gave them more than
what
they wanted.
about, look, what about, I got one last thing. What did y'all think when Wendy said that her husband looked like Idris Elba?
No, go on somewhere, girl. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Don't ever, ever,
Don't do that.
ever,
Don't do that.
I'm
ever.
sorry, say it
Don't do
again,
that.
Lisa. You were
He
breaking
can
up.
be chocolate and cute without you lying. Like
Yeah, he's
don't do
not
that.
Idris Elba. Don't get it twisted. There's only one.
Yeah,
Only
he can be
one.
chocolate and handsome, but don't act like you got your boobs done and all that, but you ain't nothing happening to your eyes. You know
No.
what you see, and don't do
That's
that.
what I
Idris
was
is
thinking. I
beautiful.
was like, okay, I get it. Your man should look good. He should be that man for you. I totally get it. Because that's the way I feel about anybody I've been with. He was that man for me. But I was like, you stretching it now. You stretching it a little
Yeah,
bit.
she.
Totally
Acting
stretched.
like, look, like we
That's like
all had
the
our eyes
biggest
done or
stretch
something like
ever.
that. Nobody,
Yeah.
no, just say your man is chocolatey and he fine, and that's your man, and you know what I'm saying?
Don't
He can be
ever,
all that, but don't lie about it. Don't compare him to
don't
something he ain't.
ever. You put Idris Elba's picture and her husband's picture up, you're gonna be like, girl, please.
Yeah, ain't no resemblance.
Only in your dreams, because ain't
No
nobody else
resemblance.
seeing him like Idris.
No, no, no.
No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
even.
He ain't even got the swag,
Yeah.
none
So
of
the
that.
only
None
thing,
of it.
everybody, yeah,
God,
because
that man is so
it's like the
fine.
husband that yeah, but look, the one man that the housewives seem to all drool over is Juan. Did y'all keep on hearing Giselle saying your fine
I
husband,
think
your fine
Fine.
she
husband? I'm like,
pulling
girl,
over
you
me.
can say it
See?
one time, huh?
Yeah, she keeps saying every time she talk about him, like your fine
Yeah,
husband, your
I'm
fine
like,
husband.
okay, you can say it one time.
Yeah,
More than that, girl, you need to knock it off. And then,
yeah.
what about Ashley's husband, Yolanda?
Who?
Did y'all see how Michael's face lit up when he was like, "Have you got Michael, Ashley's husband?" He was like,
Yeah,
"Did they get married? See, I
yeah,
knew
Oh, that
it
was
wasn't
last
gonna
week
happen.
though.
See,"
yeah.
I was like, "Are you
Yeah,
sure?"
I guess
Like,
he
and then
also
that's
thinks
something
one.
I don't understand with Ashley. Yeah, and so what I don't understand with Ashley is how did you not see your man's face light up when he's talking about your quote unquote friend's husband? How did you not see that?
Cause
I'm
you know
She
the
don't
sorry.
want
eyes.
to see
You
that.
know
She
the
don't
I,
want to see
eyes.
that.
The love only wants you to see what it wants you to see. You know
She
you
feel
gotta
like they're in a
turn
good
it off.
place now. He done with that gay stuff,
Yeah. As far as she's concerned,
is that
he's
what's going?
right. He's good where he's at.
and maybe he is. Maybe he done
Oh,
with that
sweet
gay
little
stuff.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my son.
Man.
He's bedtime.
Look, he trying to get in some love so you can be like, all right,
I
fine,
know.
move
Yeah.
on.
Hmm.
And then we got Jamel. He being messy, but we a messy crew around here, so that's okay. Jamel, bring it on. He
He
said
said
some
that
good
big
back and a side of coke. Heck no.
no pickles, no
Uh-uh.
onions.
No. No. Uh-uh. What you say?
That
Hold
is
the
too
onions. Is that
funny.
what
I
you
said no pickles, no
said?
onions.
That is so funny.
Man, they put that on the menu. I'd really be done with it. But you know what? With the rep McDonald's got, that could be on the menu. We never know because you know the meat
I
don't.
know. Look, McDonald's and Subway. Shoot, it might be
Oh, I
on.
haven't been to Subway ever since. I was like, if you're serving tuna that
Yoga
ain't
mat.
tuna, ain't no telling what else you're
Yeah.
serving. I haven't been
If you
able to eat
serving
there
what?
since. You know,
The
they're not
tuna
serving real
supposedly
fish
isn't
in their
tuna.
tuna.
What?
Yeah, I haven't been able to eat there ever since. I've been like, oh well, Subway, y'all
Hmm.
done lost a customer.
I never ate their tuna, but I still ain't gonna
Really?
lie.
I
I
think I
mean,
like it.
that McDonald's may never go away in my stomach, but I mean, then I guess I got a whole Big Mac in there because I ain't gonna lie. So I do like me a Big Mac here and there. Yeah, I'm saying I do, even if it ain't real. Only thing I don't mess with now is the McRib because I don't understand what it is anymore. When I was younger, I messed with it, but now
Oh,
I
I
don't
used
know
to
what it is.
kill McRibs.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't know
my
what it
God.
is though. Like, what is it? It's like a rib shaped meat. What is it? It's like
Well, what kind of meat is it?
I don't know.
I'm
I
with
mean, it's shaped like a
yeah.
rib, so it makes sense. But now, when you get older, it's like that don't make no sense. What is that? Is it?
Absolutely. But I had to bring that up because I was like, wait a minute. Y'all talking about a lot of men and this whole Idris comment, that really bothered me. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Oh
they
my god.
no. Now
She's
your
wrong for that.
husband, he's a nice chocolate fella, but he's not on Idris level. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that man's
nowhere
I
beautiful.
know
near
he's a
it.
little chocolate man.
Nowhere near.
I'm sorry if that sounded colorist to anybody, but
Yeah, nowhere near it.
absolutely.
Nowhere.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere.
God, Idris is beautiful.
They weren't even the
And look
same
at them and be
color
like,
back
well,
then.
what's wrong with light skin? Oh Lord, Yolanda at it again. Here she go.
I don't know. I feel disgusted
She
about
said,
both.
if you could
Both
chitlin or
gross.
If I'm gonna
placenta,
do it,
which
I'm
one
gonna
would
do
you choose?
chitlins though. I'm
Neither,
gonna do
because I
chitlins,
don't eat chitlins either.
I
but
don't
I
know.
take a
Maybe I
chitlin.
would try it
I don't
fried.
either. I'm
I would
sorry.
take a
I'll
chitlin.
sit
I'll
in the
take a
corner and
chitlin though.
starve.
Chitlins fried.
I'll
Chitlins
take a
fried. Or
chitlin.
chitlin
Chitlins
like
fried.
a
You know,
I
I
take a
don't even
chitlin
know
anyway
I'm
over a
gonna make
placenta.
chitlins right now, and I won't even eat them. So I don't know that frying it will make it better.
But at least you clean the chitlins out. Placenta, if you clean it out, you get nothing. So you got to eat that stuff that you taking
now.
out.
My
The chitlins.
grandmother.
Ugh.
My grandmother. I miss my granny very much, but she
I
she
mean,
got on me
the
because I
placenta, the
cleaned them
thing that
too
bothers
good.
me
So
most
I
is
guess
it
you're not
came
supposed to
out
clean them
of the
that
poop.
good. You're supposed to leave a little something on them. She said, "You clean these too good, Johnny." I got all of it off.
I would up too. This thing's gonna be squeaky clean.
Oh God, no, girl. It was just straight chitlin. No,
Ugh.
no white pulp at all.
The McRib is spam.
It's
Ugh.
spam.
Oh,
I can't believe I used to eat that as a child. Ew,
Spam. I
I can't
know.
even eat it
What
now. I
is
used
it?
to love spam
What
sandwiches.
is spam? I still don't even get that.
oh,
I
I
don't
have
know.
never been able to get it to spam. I've ate it a couple of times, and I was just as convinced it made me sick. I
We
just
used
can't
to
do
fry it
spam.
in bacon grease. My
I'll
mom
do
used to always
bologna.
keep a tub. She used to keep a big ass tub of bacon grease, and we just fried everything in bacon grease.
She got no chitlins. Oh, you want to see some poop in
Yeah, my granny got on me
there?
about that. I was like, "Well, I'm not cleaning them anymore. I don't know."
Yolanda, you have to put the
Oh,
poop
now
on the
Yolanda.
end. You didn't have to put the poop on the end.
I
That's too
know,
much to
right?
give
Yolanda,
it.
that I almost don't even feel right read that. What is that? You're not supposed to clean it good. Ew. And
I
then the
know.
poop emoji. No, Yolanda,
Uh,
no. You should have said you're supposed to clean it and then had a little bleach bottle at the end. There you go, like that. No,
no, you
I'm
can't
even more
bleach them.
turned off.
You can't bleach them. That would just be good.
Yeah, I know.
But I ain't no way I would leave no poop. I'm gonna clean it too good if I'm gonna eat it and cook it. And I can't, but by the time I got done cleaning, I wouldn't even be able to eat it, so it wouldn't matter.
What were you saying about frying them? You think if you fried them, it would turn into like a what are those things called? A crackling or a
Pork skin.
pork
If
skin?
I find out crackling is really chitlins, I'm gonna be mad.
Pork skin
Like,
is on point though.
probably deep fry some chitlins and see how they taste.
Oh,
That might be the only way. That might be the
But
only way because
I
you
have
won't
to
be
get
so
through the cleaning
chewy.
first.
let
Ugh.
me find out that Golden Flake is using chitlins to make their fried pork skins. I'm gonna have a fit. I
I
won't
mean,
have
you
no
got me. You got me. Then I guess I like chitlins, and I
I
guess I
guess you
do.
like it, right?
I do. You got me. It's kind of like, and I know it's probably way crazy because back in then I had some deer for the first time. I was like, don't ever give me nothing that I never had like that because I was a kid and I was picky. And then I had some deer and I was like, this is so good. And they're like, it's deer. I'm like, oh, I like it. It's so good though. But I was
I
like, I
still
didn't
can't
want to
get
eat
theirs.
Bambi.
I was
I was
like, this is so good. I had deer jerky. And
yeah,
I was like, I can't eat Bambi's mom. And
that's
then
what
I
I was
was
saying. Like,
like,
I want to eat Bambi, but
oh,
dang,
Bambi's
it's
mom
good.
tastes so good.
Yes, yes. I
I
went through
had
that
beef
too.
jerky quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
fit.
I mean, deer jerky.
I remember because I think it was probably your first time eating it too, Reese. Um, and my parents they had fried it up like it was a pork chop.
Talking about the deer.
Uh-huh.
They did it to
So
me twice. I had it barbecued and
and with gravy, and
fried,
then
and they both was
I remember
good.
Grandma used to make it like as barbecue, and that's
Oh,
how she
whoever
had
made the
got thick
barbecue,
with
that's
it.
the one I really liked. I was like,
Yeah, Grandma made it as barbecue, and that's how I ate it with her. Then the first time I ate it with my mom and my stepdad, I think it was him that had actually cooked it, and they had fried it up like a
Mm.
pork chop with gravy and onions and everything. So I thought I was eating a pork chop. Sitting up there eating it, killed it. Then once I got done, that's when they said what it was.
Mm. And was
They
mad,
don't
like,
even. Why even tell? Just keep it quiet and let me enjoy my
Yeah, just
food.
keep on. Yeah, just keep feeding it to me. Now you see, I'll eat
Yeah,
it.
that's why I do. I don't do that to my kids. If they enjoy it, I don't ruin it for them. Just go and enjoy it. I don't eat like that anyway, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think
Outside of
the only thing I could ever remember tricking my son into eating was Brussels sprouts. I remember the first time I cooked it for him. Um, I had actually left them whole. Normally I cut them in half. But I had left them whole,
you got
and
an
then he was
extra.
like, "What is this?" Oh, he was like, "What is this?" And I said, "Brussels sprouts." He was like, "No, I didn't say Brussels sprouts. I said it's baby cabbage because he likes cabbage." He ate it and he was like, "That was good, but that wasn't cabbage. What was that?" And I was like, "Brussels sprouts." I said, "But if I told you that, you wouldn't have ate it, right?" He's like, "No, I wouldn't have ate it."
yeah. I used to remember making the kids try and eat broccoli. Just be like, it's a big old, it's a little tree. It's a baby tree. You're a giant.
Uh,
Eat the tree.
uh,
They enjoyed that.
You know what I would
Ew.
do, Yolanda? If my coworker, Yolanda says, "What if your coworker's breath always smell like chitlins?" You offer them crackers, like Wendy said, "Go have a cracker."
she
That
said
was
that because they was
random.
drunk. No,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what
she
she
said
said.
because then she fixed. She's like, because you've been drinking, go have a cracker.
Go have a
And I
cracker. And
was like,
everybody was like, a cracker?
yeah. But I was like, oh, because they stomach upset. Okay.
Yeah.
You've been
I was
helpful
like,
at the same time. Like, now that was intelligent because she's right. Go have some crackers.
go
Complete
have
the
some
look.
crackers.
Now
Right.
that was intelligent. But
If
if
it's
they breath smell like, they need more than a cracker if it smell like chitlins. If you didn't smell some chitlins, they need more than a cracker. I don't even know if a toothbrush and toothpaste gonna fix that.
No, I don't think so. That's just gross. I mean, hell, think about how much you have to do to get it off your hands. What do you think you have to do to get it out your mouth? Ugh.
I just think about how much I do get it out my nose if I'm even around it when it's being clean.
Exactly.
I
Can
don't
you
like the smell
imagine
of it.
that in your breath? Oh,
Can you
God.
imagine smelling somebody's breath like that, and then you know their breath has to be hot? It couldn't possibly be a cool breeze.
Ugh.
If it got
Thanks,
chitlins, it's
Yolanda.
probably yeah. Yeah, I think my
Appreciate
stomach is
that.
upset. I don't even know if I want. I don't even want now. I really don't like chitlins.
Oh, God, that's gross.
You know what? I'm wondering. Yolanda must really like chitlins. I'm starting to think she
Ah,
does. Yeah, I think she does. You got to tell us about this. These chitlins that you be over there making, Yolanda. Are you making some this Sunday? Look, we throw shade equally, Yolanda. We throw shade equally, okay? You know we're just playing. Where is it? Is she gonna-
nah.
That's right. Oh, I did miss. Apparently, she said she likes crackers. Where did it go?
Right there.
Oh, they're gonna go. She said she like crackers, and I think that you like chitlins too, Yolanda. That's what I think. What do you think, Lucy? You think
Oh
Yolanda
yeah,
likes chitlins?
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking she must get down when she cook them though, cause she didn't say how you gotta leave that poop in there. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Only a true chitlin cooker know that, cause I
No,
would
we
be
don't.
like, you
Exactly.
get
My
that,
granny
I'd be like,
loved chitlins.
they'll be like, your chitlins ain't got no flavor. I'm like, exactly, they shouldn't, right? They shouldn't.
So my thing is, what do you eat as sides with chitlins? I mean, do you make mac and cheese? No chitlins. Yolanda, come on, tell me. Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
I know.
What
There
do
she
you
go
make?
again.
What do you make with your chitlins? Do you make like mac and cheese and collard greens? Do you go a little southern with it, or do you
I
do
feel
something like
like
pasta
chitlins.
salad? Ew, I just right.
I don't even think about these chitlins no more. Like this make me feel like
No,
this
let's
is
go
not
go
as
to
bad as some
bed.
of the
I mean,
simple.
you're really like ruining my sleep.
Yeah.
Already.
I'm getting chased by placenta and chitlins.
I know. I was starting to get excited. I was gonna start dreaming about Idris.
And instead, you're gonna go to kiss him, and it's
I
gonna be a big
know.
chitlin.
He gonna be sitting there cooking
It's gonna be one of
chitlins.
those.
or Idris is gonna tell you, "I'm about to bring you breakfast in bed."
I
And you're
know. It's
all
chitlins
ready,
and
you
biscuits.
excited, you doing the little I'm gonna get some food dance, and then he brings you a tray and it's covered up, open it up and it smells
Chitlins,
hot.
like
No, worse. You're gonna be like, oh my God, he's here. And he's gonna be like, I sure am. You're gonna be like, oh, no.
I know, right? I'd be like, it's Idris. I can get through it. I can get through it.
You won't,
No
because as
kissing.
he breathes on you.
No kissing.
Look, he try to whisper sweet nothings in your ear in that hot broccoli.
Or better yet, I like this one. We have chitlins for dinner, and we meet in the middle. We
Y'all look like a
have the
spaghetti
long
noodle.
chitlin. And
Look, y'all will probably be sitting there feeding each other chitlins. I just want to know, is he cooking or are you cooking them?
I don't know.
She said,
That ain't
one of my
right.
friends. Oh, she says one of my friends caught a sty from eating it. Oh my God.
STI. That's what I took. I thought it was an STI.
Oh, STI. Yes, sty is okay. Yes, sty is so different.
She got a sexually transmitted infection.
It's messed up. Like, how did the pig get an STI? Lord, that's messed up. Oh my God. I
Oh
hope.
man. Y'all are too much. Y'all are too much.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Anything else? I think it was a good episode, a messy episode altogether. But I'm waiting to see next week to see what happens. I think it's going to be more fighting and arguing, which I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted with the fighting a little bit. I want them to have some fun, go shopping. I want to see them. Let them go to Cartier and spend some money. I can pretend to live vicariously through them. But I don't know. I think we're gonna have more fighting. She says, I'm kosher, pork free. Okay, girl. I can't do it. I still eat pork.
Me too. I gotta have that bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon and ham.
Yeah.
I don't eat it
I
a lot,
had
but here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe thinking about that STI will make me stay away from them a little bit.
Yeah, definitely not touching chitlins now.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't be trying those.
I didn't know you got sexually transmitted infections from chitlins. I'm like, I know it all now. I'm like, get that STI if you want.
So Yolanda said this episode was okay. I can see that. It was, I'll say it was good, okay-ish for me. Um, there were some parts that I liked. There were some parts that I didn't like. So, it's a toss up. But I am kind of, like I said, I'm with Candace a little bit. I'm kind of tired of the fighting every single episode. There's a fight. I kind of want to not see that so much.
I want to see some more of the goofy stuff, like how a girl was shaking it. She really wasn't shaking it, but shaking it. Just goofy junk like that is what I'm.
Yeah, being funny.
Give us a little more of that.
Being
the pole dancing junk, the funny stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely want to see. Why have we still not gotten like an intro package for what's her name? Appalachian. Normally when they bring on a new girl, they kind of give us a backstory like they did with Mia. They give their backstory, but we haven't gotten that from her. We know that
she's not a real character.
We know that she has some kids, huh?
She ain't a real character.
What you say?
Yeah, she's just a side chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the friend of the show, but usually even the friend of the shows, they tell us something. Like Robin came on as a friend of the show, but they gave us some backstory on her. Because initially that's how she came on. She was just a friend. I don't know why they upgraded her because she still ain't bringing nothing. She needs to go back to being the friend of the show until she can bring a storyline. You know, I love for them to bring Katie back. Katie was always
Yeah, Katie was good, but I guess I still haven't really finished. I've been on a supernatural kick, so I haven't really finished watching the Housewives, the Potomac, to see why.
Uh-oh, Dr.
No,
Reese.
no. That's
Her
like turkey
temperature
bacon is
is
like
so
chitlin.
rubbery. It's so
It's like
rubbery.
yeah, it's like
You
it's like
gotta
a
cook it hard.
turkey bacon is like a clean chitlin.
Too much work.
You got no flavor.
No, if you
You're not
cook
doing
turkey bacon right, it won't. I like mine crispy.
it.
Aiden likes his a little flimsy, but I like mine
But
crispy.
who
So
is
I'll
trying to
make
cook
sure it's
the bacon
crispy.
all night to
It
get
tastes like
it
a
to
piece
be?
of like long spam.
Mm-mm.
I just don't
I'll
like the flavor. I don't like
sprinkle
it.
mine with a little olive oil and get it real crispy.
I don't like it.
So
I can do without that. I'll take a veggie burger over that.
Escala, no, not Escala, Escalade. Her name's Escalade. Yeah, Yolanda, that's her name.
Appellation,
Alaska.
Alpaca is her name.
enchilada.
Asparagus. I don't know this Escala that you speak of.
Yeah, who is
um,
that?
I think she's referring to that Karen called Tesla.
Uh,
Remember when she called her Tesla?
She did.
like Karen is even in on it. Oh yeah. And let's see what she said. Something else. Oh no, that was the same comment.
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap up here. So, ladies, as always, it was nice chatting with you guys, recapping the show. And I want to thank everybody who watches, especially everyone who watches from the beginning all the way to the end. You can always become a part of our crew by hitting that subscribe button and becoming a crew member. And you can be just as the three of us and Yolanda, because Yolanda loves to join in on the shade as well. So I want to thank you guys for watching and see you Saturday for Love After Lockup. Bye.
Bye.
Or Life After Lockup.
Oh yeah, it's changing. Bye y'all.
Bye.